Coming in from the commentary box and Akalanka Muthukumarana to kickstart the proceedings for the Dambulla Royals on this the third place match of the second annual Doctors Cricket League played at the Welagedara Stadium in the Wayamba province in Kurunegala. It's a lovely atmosphere over here again, very nice, very hot. But there's also a little bit of a breeze which is cutting across, so which actually will help the bowlers a little bit, the fielding side a little bit. Here we go, Akalanka Muthukumarana. That's an aborted run up. Nicely played on the onside, just on middle and leg. And nicely played on the onside. Very conventional field with a slip. A point, a cover, a short third man, a sweeper cover right away from the very first delivery. There is a sweeper cover, and of course there is mid wicket, mid on, and a square leg as well, and a short square leg as well. That's a lovely hit indeed. Opens the account with a lovely boundary, wide off the mid on fielder for 4 runs. That was a good hit, pitched up right on the slot, and duly punished. Shehan Niluka opens the account for the goal for the Dambulla team. That's nicely bowled on the offside. Earlier one was on the leg side, but then this time he was slightly overcorrecting on the offside, but played towards the point region for a single. The score moves on to 5 with Shehan Niluka on 5 and Chamika Palkumbara to take strike now. So Dambulla elected to bat first. I'm sorry, yeah. It's Dambulla elected to bat first. There we go, nicely driven again. Slightly on the chance of a run out. No, that was little sloppy, I would say. Slightly mistimed. The ball just held on to the pitch a little bit, and it was slightly mistimed indeed. But having said that, they just managed to skate through without any damage done. That's again on the off stump, pushed towards the cover region. Fairly nice tight bowling after that boundary. Akalanka managed to cut it back a little bit. The score moves on to 5 without loss. Bowled him indeed. That's beautifully bowled. This is an absolutely piece of a leg cutter. It looks like. Pitched around middle and leg, and just beat that forward, proud of the batter, and that's all ends up. First blood drawn for Akalanka. First blood drawn by Akalanka from Galle Titans, and that's the wicket of Shehan Niluka. The score is 6 for the loss of 1 wicket. There we go. Oh no, it's actually an inducker. It's an absolute inducker. This ball jacked back in quite appreciably. Went through the baton pad. Just cut back in nicely. That was a good, just short of a length. The batter was confused whether to go in the front or back. Ideally, he should have played it on the back foot, but he was in no man's land and all ends up. That's a beautiful delivery indeed. A good length to hit, good hard length indeed. The new batter in is Asanka Sanjeeva. And that's the end of the over. And of course, it's Lakmal Mendis. And of course, the batter to face now is Chamikara Palkumbura. That's a very interesting first over indeed. A boundary of the second ball. But again, the Galle team coming back. That's a slow deliveries on the back foot, rocked back, and that's fairly well fielded indeed. A fair bit of cover in the mid-wicket region by Darshana. The doctors letting their arms and limbs loose a little bit over here, but it's pretty good indeed. Just very good to see them in a very softer, nicer environment rather than with the surgical knives and stuff like that. There we go. Now it's Asanka Sanjeeva to take guard to Lakmal Mendis. That's a good shot indeed. That's past the mid-off region. That's 4 runs. That was a very, very good shot indeed. Came down the track and smashed it past the mid-off fielder for 4. He's showing his intent very, very clear indeed. Asanka Sanjeeva, he really wants to take it on. The score moves on to 11. He just came down the track and sort of drove it very nicely past the ball, past the mid-off fielder. Could have been stopped, I would say. But having said that, it's 4 runs. It's 11 for the loss of 1 wicket. There we go again. That's a lovely hit. That was smothered. That was really smacked over the boundary line for 6. That's over the sweeper cover region for 6. Asanka Sanjeeva showing his intent absolutely clear. 2 deliveries and 10 runs. No mercy at all. The previous delivery was a pretty decent one, but he made it into a bad delivery and made it a 4. And the second one, he really sort of made the bowler to err in line, and he just threw it wide outside the off stump and really went after it for a 6. It's a good brisk start indeed for the Dambulla boys, the doctors from Dambulla. Asanka Sanjeeva on 10 and Chamikara Palkumbara giving good support at the other end with 2. Lakmal Mendis going for a bit of stick. 11 runs for the loss without any wickets so far. And 3 more balls to go. That's fairly wide outside the off stump. Well judged as well. I mean, of course, Sanjeev was looking for a wide, but it wasn't there to be given as a wide. That's 17, and we are in the over number 7. Over number 2, 1.4 overs. Good comeback by Lakmal Mendis. Let's see whether he can finish it off very well. Of course, Asanka Sanjeev will be looking for to make it as a big over. There we go again. That's lucky. That's lucky. He couldn't time it properly, and that was lucky for him. Otherwise, it would have just ended up in the lap of the long off fielder. Probably he didn't realize that the long off has dropped back. Now the long off is coming back into the mid off position to Chamikara Palkumbara. Good captaincy indeed. After the 2 hits, they really pushed the fielder back to long off, and now they bring it back again. There we go. That's gone again. Another wicket. Very, very good catch indeed in the slips. Beautifully fielded. Absolutely brilliant indeed. And that's the wicket number 2. 18 for the loss of 2 wickets. Dambulla. Though they've started pretty well, pretty briskly, they've also lost 2 wickets indeed. And Chamikara Palkumbara caught Binaravi Hanga and of the bowling of Lakmal Mendis. For 2, he really played a nothing shot indeed. He just caught the outside edge, and it's a lovely, lovely catch indeed by Vihanga. There we go. That's a good catch indeed. Pretty sharp indeed. Very, very, very good catch. The Galle boys are really sort of pegging back the Dambulla guys. Dambulla trying to break the shackles, but the Galle is up to the task, and they've been bringing them back right away. Even the first over, the second ball went for a boundary, but again, Mahakumbara returned pushed them back with a beautiful delivery and off cutter. And this one, it was possibly the batter's fault. He just played a nothing shot, tried to just glide it. But the sheen of the ball really took the edge. Bounced a little bit more as well, I would say. And then it was a very sharp catch at the slips. 18 for the loss of 2 wickets in 2 overs. The new man in is Nuwan Chaturanga, but he's off the strike right now. And now it's going to be Asanka Sanjeeva. That's again Akalanka Muthukumarana. It's a good delivery right in the block hole, but managed to glide it for a single. Asanka Sanjeeva. Dambulla can't afford to lose wickets over here. They have to have a good power play. They really have to make it count if they want to achieve the target of 160. What they're looking at, they really have to bat deep indeed. I think Asanka Sanjeeva has a bigger role to play. He probably will have to curtail a little bit just to make sure that he stays on the wickets. Pretty attacking field. The field, you could see that the field has crept up a little bit with the extra cover, just moving in a couple of steps. There again, another ill-advised attempted glide, I would say. Not too sure as to why these batters are trying those kind of shots right now at the start of the innings when the ball is zipping around a bit. The previous over, the similar shot was the downfall of the batter, but now it's again Nuwan Chaturanga, the new man in. The very first delivery is faced, he is trying the same shot indeed. There we go, beaten outside the off stump. Probing line on and around off stump. But the batsman not up to the mark. His feet isn't moving to the ball. I think he looks a little too static. And look at the carry. Look at the carry the bowler is getting. The keeper was gathering it right in front of his face. So it's a fairly true wicket indeed. True nice zippy wicket. That's fairly wide outside the off stump. Yes, it's duly called wide, and the score moves on to 21. 20 for the loss of 2 wickets. The fairly steady it over. I think Akalanka Muthukumarana has really come back well after giving that boundary in the second delivery. He managed to sort of pull it back and has just given away 8 runs in 1.3 overs. That's on the slot, on the onside. It's bread and butter for Nuwan Chaturanga. He just hoiked it over the mid-wicket fence. And that's a couple of boundaries, couple of bounces into the fence for 4 runs. 24 for the loss of 2 wickets. Dambulla still maintained that attacking intent. They're just trying to keep the momentum going, but they will also do good not to lose any more wickets. There we go. That's possibly picked up from the middle stump and just hoiked it towards the mid-wicket region for 4 runs. Now there's a fielder. The mid-wicket has gone back, and of course they had to pull the mid-off in. Let's see what Nuwan Chaturanga can do. Is he going to spot that and then go mid-off? The length is very, very important indeed. Yes, that's slightly short. A good bowling indeed. It's a good single. Very quick single. A direct hit would have made it a little bit more interesting, but I think the batter was comfortably home. So it's good batting. After that boundary, he managed to sort of drop in front and sneak a single. That's 25. That's smart cricket indeed by Chaturanga. And that's 25 for the loss of 2 wickets. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yes, that was touch and go, but I think the batter managed to get in. There we go again. That little dibbly-dobbly stroke by the batters. Asanka Sanjeeva now. Just trying to sort of glide it through that point region. It's a high percentage, high risk shot. At the end of over number 3, it's 25 for the loss of 2 wickets. Akalanka Muthukumarana has bowled a good spell so far. 2 overs, 1 for 13. And Mendes took the other wicket and he gave away 12 runs. Lakmal Mendes back again. There's change in bowling. My apologies. It's Dilan Paranamana replacing Mendes. That's Dilan Paranamana. Seems to be a pretty efficient bowler. Has taken 33 wickets so far. 3 overs, 2 for 25. I think right now the power play is sort of even Stevens, where both the teams could claim that they've done fairly well. That's good pace. Oh, that's a good hit indeed. That was beautifully hit over the wide mid-wicket region for 6. That was a short delivery. Bowled into the pitch, but the batter up to the task. Nuwan Chaturanga rocked back and pulled it over the mid-wicket region for a 6. That's a wonderful, wonderful hit. He really picked it up from wide outside the off stump and just deposited over the mid-wicket region for a 6. That was a good hit indeed. It was fairly wide outside the off stump on the fifth stump channel, but really deposited to the mid-wicket region. Again, now it's reactive fielding. The mid-wicket back on the fence. There we go. That's a ill-advised hoik. There's no feet movement at all. He's just trying to go over the mid-off region. I think earlier the mid-off was up. There was long off, and now they changed the field. The batter was trying to sort of exploit that, but couldn't make contact. He was trying to hit too hard. There we go again. Another poor stroke. Trying to hoik, going across the line. I think he should really look at playing it a little bit more straighter. Even if he wants to be aggressive, he can go about on top of the infield, because the lines have been there. It's just that he's been trying to sort of hit too hard. There is a good gap between the cover extra cover region. That's something he can really exploit if he really wants to. And if he gets that gap, it's 4 for all money. It's a good hit. That's slightly miss hit, I would say. I don't think he got the timing right over there. But still, nevertheless, he got a single. The score moves on to 32 for the loss of 2 wickets. This is the 4th over in progress. A 6, a couple of dot balls, and a single now. And now it's back to Asanka Sanjeeva. Asanka Sanjeeva going on at a strike rate of 200 right now. 12 runs off 6 deliveries. But can he sustain that? But Dilan Paranamana seems to be a crafty operator. He seems to have varied the length a little bit more. That nicely delivered, nicely bowled indeed. Pushed it towards the batter. A slightly fuller length. And no damage done. It's again the 4th over in progress. The last ball of the 4th over coming up. 32 for the loss of 2 wickets. Again, a good comeback by Dilan Paranamana. He just went for a 6 in the very first delivery, but managed to restrict for a single. Again, that's nicely played. And that's a single. That's a very, very good comeback indeed by Dilan. After going for the 6 in the first delivery, he managed to pull it back. It just gave away 2 more runs only. And hence, 8 runs off that over. The score moves on to 33 for the loss of 2 wickets. Dambulla, Nuwan Chaturanga on 12 and Asanka Sanjeeva on 13. It's again a pretty interesting power play. The ball is coming onto the bat fairly all right. The batters have played a few big shots, but the bowlers were also able to sort of get a few cutters in to restrict the batting. So it's a very, very interesting context which is going on right now. Yep, change in bowling. And it's Hiru Kalansurya into the attack. He is replacing the successful Nakalanka Muthukumar. Nakalanka Muthukumar went for 13 in his first 2 overs, and it's just being held back. Now it's Hiru Kalansurya. Seems to be a left-arm seamer. It seems that the doctors from Galle are having a barrage of seamers in place. In modern day cricket, you would find the spinners opening the bowling as well. At times, yes, that's a good delivery and a good line. Just hurrying the batsman a little bit. Pretty good line indeed. Middle and leg. cramping him for space. But still a single. Asanka Sanjeev managed to sneak a single. So that's 34 for the loss of 2 wickets. This is the second edition of the Doctors Premier League, Doctors Cricket League, which is going on. The last year it was won by Candy. That's a nice delivery indeed. Again, slightly cramped for space, but but I think Sanjeev managed to Nuwan Chaturanga managed to rock back and pull it towards the square leg region. I don't think it was timed properly, but he managed to get 2 runs. So that's still good batting. He managed to put it over the infield and collect 2 runs. That's 36 for the loss of 2 wickets. I think Hiru Kalansurya, Hiru is just operating on the Midland leg region, and he's trying to cramp the batter for space, whereas the batters are still looking at the onside field. That's a good delivery. That's mistimed again. The square leg fielder was slightly interested in for a short while. He just thought he'll be able to make it, but again, another 2 runs. Again, it was cramped for space. The ball was zipping around a little bit off the wickets into that uncomfortable Midland leg channel, and it still managed to get a couple of runs. There we go. There's a bit of bat manufacturing going on, a bat doctoring going on, I would say. The doctors are doctoring the bats in a positive way, though. The score moves on to 38. That's down the leg side. Erring in line that time. He's just trying to keep it as straight as possible, because he doesn't have any boundary riders on the offside. His boundary riders are on the onside, and as a result, he's just trying to keep that line a little straighter. There we go. So he has one on the offside, which is the deep third man, but the third man comes into play. I think it's a good call. Because the line is just operating at a little bit too straight, so the third man may not be required. There we go, nicely played, pushed towards the mid-off region. That's a single. That's good running indeed. They took off with the stroke and managed to sneak that single. 40 for the loss of 2 wickets. This is the 5th over in progress, going in at a healthy run rate. I think it's a good recovery by the Dambulla guys, the doctors from Dambulla. After losing the first 2 wickets in the first 2 overs, they managed to pull it back, and now they're creating a launch pad. Here we go again on that uncomfortable onside. A polite inquiry for a leg before, but of course it's not out. That's probably one of the most politest inquiries or appeals you could ever get for an LBW. The doctors are being very, very nice indeed. 40 for the loss of 2 wickets, and that's the last ball of the 5th over coming into play. Hiru Kalansurya, been a good over so far. Been fairly zippy, nippy, and quite accurate as well, except for the wide. There we go. That's a fuller length attempted wide Yorker, but it's wider. It's too wide. It's way too wide indeed. He has to re-bowl that. And the 41 for the loss of 2 wickets. Asanka Sanjeev on 14 in 10 deliveries, and Nuwan Chaturanga is on 17 of 11 deliveries. You could see the beautiful city of Kurunegala, lush green, quite a few rocks as well. There we go, back into the game. That's a slightly slower delivery. Very well fielded indeed. Very well fielded indeed. Certainly cutting down a couple of runs. It was mistimed, but it was well fielded as well. So it's a single. The score moves on to 42 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of over number 5. We're seeing the beautiful part of Sri Lanka over here. Lovely indeed, with a little bit of a lake. Possibly it's Lake Kandalama, or maybe Lake Dambulla. And of course the lush greeneries, the rocks. This is called the Rock City. The Welagedara Stadium. The Welagedara Stadium has a lot of history as well. In fact, even the Under-19 World Cup matches have been played in the year 2000 at the Welagedara Stadium. There are a lot of A-team matches have been played as well. And this Kurunegala district has actually produced a fair amount of national and international cricketers as well. I mean, some of the known names are Rangana Herath, the biggest one out of all. And then, of course, Jivanta Kulatunga. He played for Sri Lanka as well. That's a good delivery. Dilan Paranamana into the attack. That's a good single as well. Good running. It's a good call by the non-striker. It's a pretty good call by the non-striker as well. Coming back to the cricketers produced by the Kurunegala. Lanka De Silva is another one. Lanka De Silva played for Kurunegala. He is from Kurunegala as well. And of course, I think he played for Sri Lanka as well. That's a good shot indeed. And there's a good shot indeed. And that's a 4. That's a boundary. Lovely shot. Not too short, but the batter spotted it and sort of rocked back and pummeled it through the mid-wicket region for 4 runs. That's beautifully played. It wasn't a bad delivery at all. It just came on, but he played very, very late. He rocked back, waited for it, and just played it beautifully. Oh, that's on the front foot, and he swiveled a little bit to get that elevation, to get that angle, and that's 4. So some of the other cricketers are Indika Kanayaka, left-arm spinner of repute. He played first-class cricket. And there is, of course, I believe there is Ranjit Amanugama, who I think he still holds the record for the longest name in first-class cricket. I believe he has about 39 or 40 names. That's a good hit. That's a good hit. That's 4. Slightly top-edged. Slightly top-edged indeed. This is Dilan Paranamana. I think he's going a little too short. And he's giving away a lot of runs now. This 9 runs of the over so far is 51 for the loss of 2 wickets. I think it's a good power play so far for the Dambulla guys. There we go. Yep. Oh, it's nicely played, in fact. It was slightly on the top edge, but it was nicely played as well. He just rocked back, swiveled a little bit, and then placed it over the mid-wicket, over the fine leg region for 4. Nuwan Chaturanga on 25. He's racing along nicely. 25 of 13 deliveries. And Dilan Paranamana has 3 more deliveries to complete this power play. 51 already. I think it's a very, very healthy lead indeed. Sorry, it's a very, very, very healthy score indeed. A good launching pad for the boys from Dambulla, the doctors from Dambulla. It's nicely played. Looking for a single, but not available, not possible at all. Kurunegala also has a fair amount of history in terms of cricket. The Battle of the Rocks is a famous encounter which is played between St. Anne's College Kurunegala and Malideva Kurunegala. Malideva, of course, has produced quite a few good cricketers in the first-class structure. That's nicely driven towards the cover region. Slight misfield at short extra cover. A good attempt, but it's still a misfield. It's a single. So the score moves on to 52 for the loss of 2 wickets. Malideva has produced fair amount of good cricketers. Same with St. Anne's as well. And of course, there are a couple of other big matches played over here as well. So there is a bit of heritage. In fact, there is a first-class team under the name of Kurunegala Youth Cricket Club. And they've been doing fairly well in the first-class structure so far. I think right now they're playing in the major clubs 50-over tournament, which is going on. That's edged, but 4. That's an edge, but that's 4. That's actually on the air. It is slightly uppish, I would say. A bit of a top edge, it looks like. And that's 4 runs still. So it's a good way to end the power play for the Dambulla boys. The doctors from Dambulla. It's 56 for the loss of 2 wickets. Dilan Paranamana has given away 22 runs in his 2 overs. There we go. It's nicely cut, by the way. Oh, no, it's actually a good shot. I take my words back. It's a very good shot. Placed beautifully. There was no chance for the fielder to take the catch. It was slightly uppish. It did interest the gully field or the point fielder a little bit. But it's a very, very good shot indeed. Shehan Niluka, bowled by Akalanka Muthukumarana for 5. Chamika Palkumbara, caught Binner Vihanga. It was a beautiful catch, a brilliant one, and of the bowling of Lakmal Mendis for 2. And ever since then, these two have put on a fair amount of runs. Asanka Sanjeeva, I think these two have put on literally about 40 runs. Asanka Sanjeev on 20, and Nuwan Chaturanga on 26. Nuwan Chaturanga and both Asanka Sanjeev have been looked to be very aggressive. And the new ball, I think the spin into the attack for the first time. Yes, a left arm spinner coming in. Kurunegala City has seen quite a few left arm spinners coming up from their ranks, which is, of course, the team from Galle. But Kurunegala has seen quite a few left arm spinners. The biggest and the best is Rangana Herat, who has taken a lot of wickets for Sri Lanka, and he's played for Sri Lanka with distinction. And of course, there is Ekanaika as well, who's been a monster in the first class structure for a very, very, very long time. Good indeed, good running. First run off the spinner, Shehan Sanjeev. Pulled a couple of good deliveries, and he just managed to give away a single. It's 57 for the loss of 2 wickets in 6.3 overs. Shehan Sanjeev, a good start for him so far. The field is back, fairly populated. The inner ring is fairly populated on the offside, and the boundary riders are on the leg side. That's going to be interesting. That's edge skewed. Yes, that's a good catch indeed. That is a very, very good catch indeed. Absolutely beautifully held. That was on middle and leg and turning away possibly. The batter tried to go against the spin. It was ill-advised at all, completely, and it was a very good line indeed. That line really deceived the batsman, and also he got deceived on the flight. It just turned and it skewed. A very, very good catch indeed. Let's see how it goes. There we go. Oh yeah, it came in. It was angled in, and then it just turned away. It turned away ever so slightly. Yes, indeed, it turned away ever so slightly. The batter going against the spin, skewed it, and very, very well judged indeed. A good sharp catch by the fielder number 17. Asanka Sanjeev, caught by Akalanka Muthukumarana of Shehan Sanjeev. That's wicket number 3. That was a threatening partnership broken. Very good tight bowling by Shehan Sanjeev. Really earned that wicket. He just came round the track and angled into the batsman, fired it into the batsman, just turned a little bit, and that caught the edge. It's an absolutely good atmosphere indeed. Nice picturesque view. I really would like to have more crowd. Of course, this is the Doctors Cricket League, so you probably can't expect too many spectators to come in. But the people over here are really enjoying it as well. But I think it'll be a very lovely atmosphere to to see a first-class match with packed crowds. It'll be absolutely mind-blowing. The rocks right in front of my eyes is absolutely stunning with the greeneries and the lush green outfield. It's really a wonderful, wonderful view. I think Sri Lanka is blessed with a lot of beautiful cricketing venues like Galle, even the Kandy, and even the Welagedara Stadium. It's absolutely fantastic. The new man in is Tarindu Chandrasekhara. He's played 16 matches and has a high score of 67. Here we go again. The Dambulla guy is pegged back a little bit. Shehan Sanjeev. Right, left arm around. That's nicely bowled indeed. That's very, very nicely bowled indeed. A slightly loose-looking drive by Tarindu Chandrasekhara. And I think what Shehan Sanjeev is trying to do is that come left arm round the wicket, go wide of the crease, and just take that angle in. Oh, that turned. That really turned as well. That's a good turn. It's nicely played. What he's trying to do is actually trying to create the difficult angle for the batter and just getting the ball back to grip and turn a little bit, and it makes life a little bit more difficult. I think it's a line he's trying to bowl is actually creating that mess. It's a very, very good over. Brilliant start by Shreyansh Sanjeev. And 58 for the loss of 3 wickets. At the toss, Dambulla did mention that, target of 140 is chaseable. So they are looking for, Galle did mention that the target of 140 is chaseable. So they're really looking at restricting the batters to 140, whereas the boys from Dambulla really feel that 160 is a good score which they can achieve. Change in bowling again. Lasith Navodya into the attack. New bowler in is Lasith Navodya. That's nicely played towards the onside, but followed. The bowler fielding on his follow through. It's a good start for Lasith Navodya. I think the post power play, the boys from Galle has actually had a decent start so far. They managed to peg back the Dambulla boys by taking that wicket, and a very miserly over by Sanjeev. Now let's see. Oh, that's wide. That's fairly wide. That's poor bowling indeed. That's poor bowling by That's absolutely poor indeed. They need to really keep it nice and tight if they have to sort of make a match of this. Remember, the Dambulla boys, Dambulla doctors had a good power play, so I think the Galle really have to do well to come back. It's a good line indeed. Again, cramping the batter for space. In the dot balls, they have to keep on bowling those dot balls. The batsman will make mistakes. If you see it earlier in the previous over, there were a few dot balls stitched together by the left arm spinner Shreyansh Sanjeev, and that prompted the batter to go against the spin and ultimately paid the price. So that's exactly what Galle should be really looking at doing it. That's again pushed wide outside the off stump. But again, the batters are looking to go onside pretty much. I think it looks like the batters are more of predominantly onside play. They're really looking at the onside of the field. They are not looking at the offside, because offside there are fair amount of gaps which they can really exploit if they really look at over there. There we go. That's again down the track, trying to upset the rhythm of the bowler. But the bowler up to the task, really pulled his length back, and that's a single. It's again a quiet over. The first over after power play went for 2. The second one has also gone for 2, only 2 so far. There are 2 more deliveries to be bowled. And let's see what the aggressive Nuwan Chaturanga. I think Nuwan Chaturanga has been off strike for a while, so he'll be really looking forward to up the ante a little bit. But I think he has to sort of bat deep as well. They've lost 3 wickets so far, 60 for 3. And this is the 8th over in progress. A good comeback by the boys from Galle. That's hiked indeed towards the mid-wicket region. Is that going to be 4? It's a 4. That's a boundary. That's a boundary indeed. That is a pretty lethargic effort by the fielder over there. Of course, considering the age and considering the profession they're in, they're not professional cricketers. We can sort of give them a little bit of a leeway, but that should have been stopped. Yep, that's on the slot. Slightly mistimed, I would say. Not in the middle of the bat. Just bounced in a couple of bounces. Yes, the fielder should have stopped it. Should have done much better to stop that delivery, stop that ball, and that went for 4 runs. Easily gave away 2 runs. That's nicely push and run. A good. Oh, that's a poor throw indeed. That was a poor throw. That was a chance for run out, but that was a very, very, very poor throw indeed. Lasit Navodya has given away 7 runs. He couldn't finish the over very well. He just gave that boundary. Let's see. Let's look at the replay. It was nicely pushed. A good run, I would say. Good takeoff. The non-striker was slightly slow. And the throw was very, very, very wide indeed. The score moves on to 65 for the loss of 3 wickets. So it's an interesting battle on the cards between the doctors. I mean, as I said before, you see the doctors doing channeling, doing consulting, giving medicine, doing surgeries and whatever and whatnot. But we are seeing the doctors playing a game of cricket. And they are playing very, very competently indeed. And it's good to see such professional leagues, such leagues do exist within the professionals. That's good delivery again. That was grip and turn. Left arm around the wicket. Angled in and turned a little bit. And all ends up. That's nicely played in it. Slightly too full, I would say. A little bit too full. Into the batter's arc, but I think Nuwan Chaturanga just biding his time a little bit. I could see that Hoik coming up. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that was slightly faster. Shorter outside the off stump, going for that cut. Shayan Sanjeev nicely mixing up his pace and the length. There we go. That's nicely played. Actually, no, it was actually off the top edge. But you really could see that the fielder at third man, who missed the boundary over there, was struggling a little bit. I hope he's all good with him. Possibly it's the fitness factor. Generally, you would see that the left-handers would relish facing against the left-arm spinners. But it looks like Shayan Sanjeev has got the measure of Tarindu Chaturanga. It's just the pace at which he's bowling and the lines he's bowling and the angles he's creating, I think it's not giving the right width or loop or the angles for the batter to work with. So let's see how Tarin Chaturanga could respond. I think he'll probably have to make a move on a little bit, take a few more singles at least. That's nicely played. There we go. I think he heard us. Played towards the long on region for a single. That's exactly what he has to do. He can't be stuck over there. He just had to rotate the strike, give some singles. Nuwan Chaturanga has been an aggressor. He's been batting fairly well as well. He spent a little bit of time over there. He spent about 4 overs, so he can play the shots. 67 for the loss of 3 wickets. Oh, that's again good line, good tight bowling indeed by Shayan Sanjeev. I think he's been brilliant so far. This ball is given away only 4 runs of his 2 overs and has taken a wicket as well. That's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful bowling indeed. So ever since the power play, I think they've given away only 11 runs. Lasit Navodya to continue from the rock end, as I would say. There you go. That's an ambled in. It just glided through to the third man region. Short third man, I would say, or rather deep at the point. It's a single. And the score moves on to 68 for the loss of 3 wickets. Again, as I said, the lovely atmosphere. It's good green indeed. Good to see some cricket in this part of the world. And Kurunegala is also a fairly cricket crazy kind of public. And it's good to see the doctors coming and playing game of cricket over here. Because slightly leg side-ish, the batter slightly leg side-ish, just angle the bat a little bit, pushed it onto the offside region. They know that the bowling has been pretty tight. There aren't any loose balls, so they're just trying to rotate the singles, which I think is a good thing to do. Just keep the scoreboard ticking, create a launch pad so that the batters down the line can really sort of go after it. If you lose early wickets against this tight bowling, that's going to be difficult as well. There we go. That's again cramped for space. Lasit Navodaya on the money. Just bowled 3 deliveries and just given away 2 runs so far. He's been on the money. Just cramping the batsman for space. Tarindu Chaturanga has been stuck a little bit, I would say. He really needs to work hard. He really needs to sort of get those singles going. Nuwan Chaturanga has been able to sort of do that. But Tarindu, I think, is a little stuck. He's got only 4 runs of 9 deliveries. There we go. That's frustration creeping in, and he just danced down the track towards the mid-on region for a single. He just still couldn't get the power or elevation what he was looking at, but he still managed to get a single, which is very important indeed. And the score moves on to 70 for the loss of 3 wickets. So the boys from Dambulla, doctors from Dambulla, moved into the 70s. We're almost at the halfway mark of the innings. Remember, Dambulla was looking at about 160 or 140. Oh, that's good shot indeed. Oh, no, that's caught. That's a good catch at the square leg region. Fairly good catch indeed. It wasn't timed. I think it just hit the splice of the bat slightly on the top half of the bat. And it was, again, he was cramped for space. Ballooned it right into the lap of the fielder. That's Tarindu Chaturanga. Tarindu Chandrasena. I keep on saying Tarindu Chaturanga. Tarindu Chaturanga is a ruggerite. My apologies for that. It's Tarindu Chandrasena. Caught. Good catch indeed. Good running catch. The fielder was coming in. Not easy to get take those catches, but he did well to hang on to it. Pretty good one indeed. Tarindu Chandrasena. Nuwan Chaturanga out for 34. Ko Takalanka Muthukumarana off the bowling of Lasit Navodaya. Tarindu Chandrasena still at the wicket. Nuwan Chaturanga is the one got dismissed for 34. He had a good innings. It was a good knock indeed. The Dambulla Royals, 70 for the loss of 4 wickets. And this is the 10th over in progress. And now we are in drinks break. The new batter in, I think it's going to be Tarindu Pereira. But let's wait and see. I think they've lost their way a little bit, the Dambulla Royals, after getting a very, very good power play indeed. Just lost a couple of wickets, but again, really came back, went after the bowling, and he just went up to about 57, 58 runs they scored in the first power play. They were brilliant indeed, but then, ever since then, over the last 4 overs, they've just managed to score only 12 runs and lost 2 wickets. The chief wreckers, I think, Lasit Navodaya has been pretty miserly. He's given away only 10 runs. And this is second over, just 1 more delivery to go. And of course, Sanjeeva has given away only 4 runs. So this is brilliant bowling, I think. 14 runs they've given away. 56 at the end of power play, 56 for 2. And now at the end of over number 10, it's been pegged back to 70 for 2. Dambulla was looking at a good score. They wanted to sort of put up at least 141, between 140 to 160. I think it's a good score to defend. The pitch, dry grass, bit of grass, just holding on things together, and it looked very rock solid, but it looks dry as well. So I think it's coming on well to the bat. There's nothing, no terrors as such. There's a little bit of spin for the left arm spinner. He managed to tweak the ball a little bit. A fair amount of tweak he was getting it. But other than that, it's playing true and it's playing nicely as well. So 70 for the loss of 4 wickets. This is the 10th over in progress. Lasit Navodaya just to complete his second over. And the new man is Yasas Fernando. That's nicely bowled indeed. Yasas Fernando was just trying a little bit of a glide. Couldn't really make that cut. And that's the end of over number 10. The score remains on 70 for the loss of 4 wickets. a very traditional and a fairly old-looking ground. It seems to have a lot of traditions and history around it, surrounded by all the rocks and greens. And that old pavilion on the left towards the left of the commentary box looks pretty nice still. And they still seem to be maintaining the tradition. The ground, the outfield is being maintained very, very nicely indeed, and even the pitch looks pretty good as well. So I think kudos to the team, to everyone who's actually doing a good job in maintaining this ground at this location. It's very, very nice indeed, and I really hope that it can expand further and we can get some international matches as we go on. Oh, that's bowling again, left arm around the stumps. That's Chandrasena. Oh, that's a risky run indeed. That's a risky run indeed. That's an appeal for a run out, but no damage done. Shan Sanjeev again doing his miserly ways, prompting the batters to take that risk. 71. Oh, let's see how it goes. Look at the replay. There we go. It's off the pad of the keeper. The keeper really couldn't gather it properly, I would say. It was off the pad of the keeper. That's just pushed it towards the point region for a single again. That's again poor backing indeed. Very, very poor backing. Poor throw, and there was no backup at all. The fielder at the mid-wicket. Short mid-wicket should have gone across. Or at least the square leg should have come in to cut that off. Again, a grip and turn. A lot of grip and turn for Shan Sanjeev. He's proving to be miserly indeed. 2.4 overs, 1 for 7 is his figure so far. There we go, going wide of the crease, angling it in. Oh, yes, lovely. It was lovely. Just straightened a little bit and beat the batter's forward press. Again, good bowling indeed. 11th over in progress, almost at the end of over number 11. 73 for the loss of 4 wickets. It's nicely played, nice prod indeed. That's another single. 74 for the loss of 4 wickets. Taranju Chandrasena on 6 and Yasas Fernando on 3. Shan Sanjeev, absolutely brilliant bowling so far. 8 runs, 8 for 1 of 3 overs. He's really pegged the Dambulla guys back with his bowling. He's been bowling superbly indeed. And of course, Lasit Navodya has been giving able support. But it's Shan Sanjeev who's really pegged them back with a miserly spell of 3 overs and just giving away 8 runs. There's a change in bowling. Vimukti Senanaik coming into the attack from the rock end. From the rock end, there's a new bowler. It's Vimukti Senanaik. Seems to be another left arm spinner. Is that right? There we go. We're just back in. We had my apologies for this slight mishap. We had a power failure, and as a result, we lost commentaries for a while. We're back again now. 82 for the loss of 4 wickets. In the interim, I think Yasas Fernando did score a good 6 in the previous over, and now it's 82 for the loss of 4 wickets. Shayan Sanjeev again bowling his nice miserly ways, bowling left arm around to Yasas Fernando. Oh, that's nicely bowled indeed. Is that a drop chance? I think the reactions sound so. The wicketkeeper and the bowler, they both were extremely dejected when they saw that. But let's see how it goes. Let's see the replay. Oh, yes, that was a clear edge indeed. It was a clear edge. It just bounced a little bit more than what the keeper expected. And the keeper was grabbing at it rather than letting the ball settle in. I don't think he judged the bounce and the pace of it correctly. And it was a bad miss indeed. Shayan Sanjeev has been bowling beautifully, getting a lot of turn. Bowling nice angles and lines and lengths as well. Change of angle, left arm over. That's a good shot. Going for that over long off. Are they going back for the second run? Yes, indeed. That's a quick go. That's good running indeed. That's good running by Yasas Fernando. Showing a lot of athleticism. Managed to get that into 2. Not too sure as to why Shayan Sanjeev decided to go left arm over to Tarindu Chandrasena, because he has been bowling very well on left arm around and trying to cramp him in. But I think by going left arm over, he's just given him that little space for him to free his arms, and that resulted in the 2 runs. It was still mistimed. It was absolutely mistimed. There we go again, left arm over. Oh, that's outside the off stump. Fired it in. And that's the end of a wonderful spell by Shayan Sanjeev. 4 overs, 1 for 13. And the score moves on to 86 for the loss of 4 wickets. At the end of over number 13. There are 7 more overs to go. And let's see what's going to happen. Let's see how much Dambulla is going to get. This is an interesting game of cricket. We are at an intriguing phase. Both the teams, one was suggesting about 160, the other was saying about we want to restrict to about 140. So let's see how it goes. But right now, I think it's 86 for the loss of 4 wickets. The projected par score at the current run rate is 122. I think that's going to be a little bit below par in comparison to what both the teams are expecting. 132. I think that's going to be a little bit below par. I think Dambulla would be really looking at something in the region of 150, 140 and about. Vimukti Senanayaka, who bowled that over during the power interruption, is going to continue to bowl. That's nicely played. Good delivery again. Right arm around, trying to just cramp the batter for space, just bowling into the pads, keeping that middle and leg line, not allowing the batter to free his arms. Just managed to get only a single. That's 87 for 4. Vimukti Senanayaka gave away 7 runs in his very first over. Short in stature, trying to keep it nice and straight. Little bit of air, gave it just a little bit of air towards the to the batter onto it again, driving it uppishly towards the long off region for a single. 88 for the loss of 4 wickets. I don't think the Galle team is going to worry too much about the singles, but it's the boundaries they're going to be guarded against. That's a good shot. That's a good shot again. Round the stumps. From round the stumps, it was angled into the batter. Just kept it too straight. Of course, it's a slight misfield at the extra cover region, and that gave that second run. It was a poor bit of fielding. Yep. It's taken on the full, by the way. It was taken on the full, slightly outside the off stump. Oh, there we are. That's poor fielding indeed. It actually ricocheted off the batsman's, of the fielders' arms and possibly shin, and went for another single. So 2 runs overall. Oh, there we go. That's a funny shot indeed. I mean, hard to describe that kind of a shot. He's just trying to flick it over, but just managed to get it to the short third man region and get a single. Fairly fairly spread out field, I would say. Five in the inside the ring and four on the lines. There we go. Sweeper cover, a mid wicket, a long off and a long on. Just trying that nice little dab. Again another single. The score moves on to 91. 91 for the loss of 4 wickets. 92 for the loss of 4 wickets. This is Vimukti Senanayaka's second over. He's already given away 13 runs, 6-7 of the first over, and then of course 6 in the second so far. Let's see what we can do. Yasas Fernando on 12. He's going at runner ball literally, which is good indeed. Just keeping the strike, keeping the scoreboard ticking. And Tarin Chandsena of just 15 of 20. Oh, he goes for a big hit. That's again, but towards the long off region only for a single. That's 93 for the loss of 4 wickets. 14 overs. Sorry, at the end of over number 14, the score moves on to 93 for the loss of 4. Vimukti Senanayaka, not 14 of 2 overs. Tarindu Chandrasena, 15 of 20. And Yasas Fernando, 13 of 15. The current run rate is 6.64. It's 93 for the loss of 4. 6 more overs to go. Again, now I think it's time for Dambulla to really sort of look at upping the ante a little bit, or maybe will they look for about another, will they wait for another couple of overs and then go after it? They've lost probably a couple of more wickets, two extra wickets, or at least 1 extra wicket to their likings. But let's see how it goes. The pitch has a little bit of turn, has a little bit of grip, but also coming on to the bat nicely as well. So I think it's a good wicket produced by the curators so far. It was produced at very short notice indeed, because the match was supposed to be played at Dambulla today, but it was only yesterday the venue was moved from Dambulla to Kurunegala at the Welagedara Stadium because there is a women's team practice match which is happening at the Dambulla International Stadium. And as a result, the priority has been given to that. So it was a last-minute move to play the finals. Of course, it should be noted that the league matches were played at the same venue, but the finals were supposed to be played at Welagedara Stadium, but again brought back. Now back again, this left-arm seamer. That's down the leg side. Starts with a wide, and that takes the score to 95. Hiru Kalansurya, I thought he had a decent, though he went for 10 runs, I thought he had a decent first over. He bowled fairly well. He was quite nippy and zippy. Kept it nice and tight. Possibly a not bad delivery, and he gave a few singles as well. But other than that, he bowled pretty nicely indeed. Again, down the leg side, not getting his radar right in his second spell. It's 2 wides given so far. Seems to be that he's been tasked to do the death over. Score moves on to 96 for the loss of 4 wickets. The Dambulla doctors. That's the bench. That's the hut, the dugout, as you call it these days. He got it right this time. On the onside, on the middle and leg, pushed towards the long off region for a single. Takes the score to 96 for the loss of 4 wickets. The Doctors Cricket League 2024 live from the Welagedara Stadium in Kurunegala. This is the second edition of the tournament. The first edition was won by Kandy, and the finalist for the first edition was Kandy and Colombo. Very similarly, even this time, it's Kandy and Colombo is going to fight it out in the finals. And let's see whether Kandy can repeat the same thing as to what they did last time. That's a nice dipping delivery indeed. I think it's slightly dipped on him. He managed to sort of angle the bat a little bit, get it towards the point region for a single again. 97 for the loss of 4 wickets. Tarindu Chandrasena on 16 and Yasas Fernando on 14. Oh, that's cute indeed. That's again a good delivery. That is cute as well. I mean, the left-hand batter Tarindu Chandrasena trying to force the pace. Came down the track, swinging his arms, but couldn't get the connection. It just got the outside half of the bat. Possibly the bat twisted a little bit. Let's wait for the replay. And it just ended up in a dolly to the fielder who was coming in from point, and that's a big wicket. There we go. Tarinder Chandsena came down the track. Oh, it just caught the bottom of the bat, hit the bottom of the bat. Again, I think he was too straight. He didn't go to the pitch of the delivery. That's a good catch. Very good catch indeed. Very well judged. It's not easy again. The ball was twirling a little bit. Managed to get hold on to it. He didn't get to the pitch of the delivery. He just went down straight and then trying to reach out. It hit the bottom of the bat. Slightly spliced, I would say. And it just ballooned to the fielder at point for an easy catch. So that's the first wicket for Hiru Kalansurya. He's been bowling fairly well, as I told you before. Even in the previous over, he bowled well. He was unlucky not to get a wicket, but now he managed to get his first wicket. 98 for the loss of 5 wickets. Dambulla again getting pegged back. Yasas Fernando still there, 14 in 16 deliveries. Let's see who the new batter is. The left-handed batter coming in. Oh, that's nicely pushed to the mid-off region. Is that right? Yes. Sorry, picked up by the bowler. That's a wide. That's a third wide. He's been bowling very well, but he's not getting his radar. I mean, the new man is Sudesh Jaisingh, a left-handed batter. He's not getting his radar right. He's bowled 3 wides so far. I think even the first over he bowled a couple of wides. He's already bowled like 5 wides, which means 5 runs and almost an additional over, which is not good bowling by the doctor. He's showing good rhythm, but time and time again, he's just straying down. That's nicely played. Slightly off the leading edge, but no damage done. Again, as I said before, Hiru Kalansurya has been bowling fairly well, but he's been off radar sometimes. He's just pushing it a little too wide onto the right-handed leg stump, and all the wides are on that side only. I mean, in the previous over, of course, he bowled one on the offside as well, but he's so far bowled, I think, about 5 wides. Yep, that's an interesting-looking push. I don't think he moved his front foot. He actually moved his back foot a little bit behind further to make it look like a front foot drive. And nevertheless, he gets a single. Sudesh Jaisingh opens his account with a 1. And Yasas Fernando on 14. The 100 up for Dambulla. 100 for the loss of 5 wickets in 15 overs. That's a very, very good over by Hiru Kalansurya, just giving away 16 runs. Typically the over number 15, 16, 17, starting from the over number 15, those are difficult overs to bowl at, where the batsmen are looking at launching and upping the ante. But that's something... But it's good bowling by Hiru Kalansurya, except for those 3 wides. He was really spot on with the angles and the lines and length. And it's 100 for the loss of 5 wickets. It's a good but tough day's cricket for the doctors. They're not the kinds who plays day in and day out. It's steaming hot over here. There's a little bit of breeze as well. It's nice and pleasant, but still it's pretty hot. And it's going to take its toll on all the bodies. There we go. That's Navodya. Yep, that's Navodya back into the attack. I think he's going to bowl. He's bowling his 3rd over. It's Lasit Navodya bowling his little cutters, I would say. Just rolling his fingers over, cutting it away from the rock end. It seems to be on the seam. That's down the leg side. Again, another wide. They bowled a fair amount of wides. The guys from Galle, they bowled a fair amount of wides over here. Yeah, there we go. He's just trying to roll his fingers over, but I think getting his radar right, radar wrong. He's just starting around somewhere around the leg stump and moving it away, cutting it further down. Again, he's trying to keep it on the leg side, on the onside. Oh, there we go. That could be a good running. Yes, it's very, very good running indeed. It's very good running indeed. The fielder from the square leg region has to come herring in, but he couldn't do much. But I think possibly the short fine leg fielder should have and possibly could have gone a bit faster and then cut it down rather than letting the fielder from square leg to come all the way down. That's tough going. 2 runs for the left-handed Sudesh Jayasinghe. That's up in the air. That's towards the long on region. Is it going to? Yes, that's a good catch. It's a very good catch indeed. Fairly well judged. Didn't have to move much. It just came down a little bit and then went back and settled under it. Caught it perfectly. Sudesh Jayasinghe loses his wicket. 101 for the loss of 6 wickets. That's Lasith Navodaya is getting his second wicket. I think after that power play onslaught, the Gall doctors have really pegged back the Dambulla doctors. Yes, that's a good catch indeed. Good awareness of the line as well. Not far from the boundary line, by the way. Judged it perfectly and caught it nicely indeed. Lasith Navodaya getting his second wicket. That's a long walk back to the hut or the pavilion or dressing room by Sudesh Jayasinghe. Pretty dejected indeed. He thought he can get it for a 6. But nope, couldn't do that. The new man in is, of course, the t-shirt says Chummy. Let's see. Yep, it seems like Chamikara Polkumbura. The new man in is Dr. Chamikara Polkumbura. It's a fairly dejected, long walk back indeed for Sudesh Jayasinghe. The score is 102 for the loss of 6 wickets. This is the over number 15 in progress. Lasith Navodaya really bowling well. He's just cutting it down. I think along with Lasith Navodaya and the left arm spinner put together, really sort of pegged back the boys from Dambulla, the doctors from Dambulla, from the onslaught. They had a good power play, 56 of the first 6 overs. And then ever since then, they've sort of gone downhill. It's been very, very nice and tight bowling indeed. Lasith Navodaya, no short balls, nothing, no bad deliveries. They did bowl a few wides, but other than that, they've been pretty accurate. They've been on the money. There we go. It's a good, very well spread out field again. The inner fielders are right at the circle, edge of the circle, except for the point. Played square of the wicket towards the third man region for a single again. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe. Sorry, that's not Chami Polkum, but that's Sumudhu Wickramasinghe. My apologies for that. That's Sumudhu Wickramasinghe, the new man in, has joined Yasas Fernando. Let's see what Yasas Fernando can do. He's been an aggressor. He's scored 14 of 16 deliveries, but they've also lost 6 wickets. Is he going to play the waiting game a little bit more for a couple of overs? There we go. He just tries to nudge a little bit. I don't think that's his natural game. He just wanted to get it finer of the wicket keeper, but I don't think that's his natural game. He's just playing against his instincts. There we go. That's a very casual looking push, a prod. That's a single. Again, way too casual indeed. I think Yasas Fernando should do well to sort of give a little bit more intent into those shots. He's looking way too casual. I'm just wondering whether he's looking too negative over here right now. He doesn't have to go for his shots. He doesn't have to go for big hits, but he can still play proper aggressive cricket. 105 for the loss of 6 wickets. Lasith Navodaya 2 for 15 of 3 overs. He's come back very well after giving away 10 runs in the very first over. And then Sumudhu Wickramasinghe on 1 and Yasas Fernando on 15. There we go, the back again. Akalanka Muthukumarana back into the attack on the same end, the pavilion end. Down the track, Yasas Fernando. That's a beautiful shot indeed. That's lovely, bisecting the two fielders, and that's 4 runs. That is a lovely hit indeed. It came down the track, gave the charge to the bowler, and timed it to perfection and split the gap nicely indeed. That is an absolutely wonderful shot. A good aggressive shot after a long time. There you see. That's it. Good base. Came down the track and a solid base indeed. Ah, that's out. That's caught. Trying to repeat the same thing. But this time uppish. That's another big wicket. That's a big wicket indeed. Yasas Fernando perishing after scoring that wonderful boundary. And Akalanka Muthukumarana strikes. 109 for the loss of 7 wickets. I think that's a big wicket for Dambulla in the context for Dambulla in the context of the game. They are really, Yasas Fernando is batting fairly well. There we go. That seems to be like an attempted leg cutter, if I may say so. Yep, that's a good catch. I think he mistimed it. Didn't really sort of get the connection what he was looking at. 109 for the loss of 7 wickets. It was a good catch by Shayan Sanjeeva, and Yasas Fernando caught Shayan Sanjeeva, bowled Akalanka Muthukumarana for 19. And Dambulla and Fernando being replaced by Tulanga Balalle. A good shot again on the onside, onto the pads, trying to sort of flick it around and get a boundary, but managed to get a single. The Balal is an interesting name. I believe Trinity. There was a famous Mevan Balal who played for Trinity and possibly for Sri Lanka under 19 as well in the 80s, 1987, if my memory serves me right. I'm not too sure whether there is any connection over here, but this is Dulanga Balale. That's nicely played towards the cover region. Again, a single. The singles aren't going to hurt the Galle Doctors. Akalanka Muthukumarana again, good comeback. 2.5 overs, 2 for 19. He bowled the first over, went for 7 runs, but still took a wicket. And now he comes back and takes his second wicket. He's into his third over right now. Oh, that's going for a hoik. Dulanga Balale going for that hoik. Looking at targeting that region between mid-wicket and long on, but couldn't get any contact at all. It's bat and ball. It has to be bat and ball. They really have to sort of re-look at the strategy. They really have to look at about, run a ball from now on so that, they can at least get around 130. I think 130 to 140 could be a competitive total. Though it's not threatening, it could be a competitive total. The pitch still looks good. Plays true as well. There's no stop and turn. There's a little bit of turn for the left arm spinner. He did get a bit of grip. The cutters are getting it in as well, but still the ball is coming on. Lasit Navodya to bowl his third over. I think there are a fair amount of bowling options left. Only Shayan Sanjeev has completed his quota. The others, they still have some bowling to be done. Oh, that's outside the off stump. A miss again. Sumudu Vikramasinghe. Sumudu going for that cut. Didn't really go with any conviction whatsoever, and just a dot ball. I think Dambulla really has to look at getting bat on ball and get those singles away, keep running, and then go behind the bad balls. There we go, shaping up for a big hit, but the bowler really pulled the length back, and the batter and Sumudu have spotted it a little early, didn't continue with the shot. He just sort of pulled it back and got a single. So it's 112 for the loss of 7 wickets. Just past the Nelson, the good old cliche of Nelson. That's down the leg side. Another wide indeed. It's really interesting to look at the number of wides which has been bowled by the Dambulla. Which has been bowled by the Galle. Lasit Navodya himself has bowled a few, and he's given away another wide. So 113 for 7. Dulanga Balale looking to swing his bat at every given opportunity. There we go. He goes after it. Again, didn't get the right connection, but he still managed to get 2 runs. lands safely in front of the fielder at the mid-wicket region. Dulanga Balale really looking after going behind the bowlers, going after the bowlers. 115 for the loss of 7 wickets. Balale on 3 and Samudra Wickramasinghe on 3 as well. Again, going for that hike. That's an interesting one indeed. He was going for that hike, didn't really see where the ball was, looking for that run, but came back just in time. It was a funny comedy of errors, so to speak. 115 for 7 again. Good over being bowled by Lasit Navodya. Given away only 4 runs, including a wide. There are 2 more deliveries to be bowled. That's again another wide indeed. I mean, it's a commentator's because I just said a good over being bowled, but again comes back with a wide. So that's too many wides has been bowled by the Galle boys. Another wide, is it right? Nope. Not really. He managed to get over it. That's quite lucky, I would say. But it's a good call by the umpire. 116 for the loss of 7 wickets. I think they've already bowled, how many wides? They bowled 10 wides. That's 10 runs plus 10 additional deliveries, which is a crime in a T20 game. That was again a miss hit, I would say. It was a miss hit. It just sounded fairly good off the bat, but it actually came at the bottom of the bat. The fielder went for that catch. Probably shouldn't have. He should have just gone for that single, stopped the single. But in the end, he sort of ended up giving 2 runs. So it's 118 for the loss of 7 wickets. This is the second edition of the Doctors Cricket League happening at the Welagedara Stadium in Kurunegala. The picturesque Welagedara Stadium, the historic venue in Kurunegala in the Vimba province. Again, good shot. Slightly opening it up, but the bowler was following the batter a little bit, but he managed to sort of push it for a single. That's 119 for 7 wickets. Dulanga Balale, let's see what he's going to do. He's been swinging his arms, swinging his bat, left, right and center. So let's see what he's going to do right now. This is the over number 19 in progress. That's a good shot. That swung away towards the mid-wicket region for a single. That's again 120. Dambulla was looking at about 160 as a target. But I think Galle was always of the opinion that 140 is a defendable target. That's a good shot. Gave a little space. Moved the body a little bit, gave a little space and pumped it through the offside, but a single only. It's still 121 for 7. The Galle boys wouldn't really mind the singles, but they will be really looking at not giving away the boundaries and sixes. Akalanka Muthukumar has been bowling fairly well. 2 for 22 of 3.3 overs. He still had 3 more overs, 3 more balls to go to finish it off. And who's going to bowl the last over is an interesting question. That's again swung on the onside. Going to be 2 runs. Nope, it's only 1 again. Dulanga Balale swinging hard, but still ending up only in singles. They could have run the first round with a lot of intent. If they had run it, then they could have challenged the thrower, but they didn't do that. So it's 122 for the loss of 7 wickets. The bowling options are, of course, Lakmal Mendis has 3 more overs to play. I don't think he's going to bowl. Dilan Paranamana has a few. That's the attempted hike, but a quick cheeky single again. 123 for 7. This is good running indeed. Vimukti Senanayak has 2 overs. Hiru Kalansuri has 2 overs. And so I believe it will be a toss-up between Hiru Kalansuri and Dilan Paranamana as to who's going to bowl the last over. Akalanka Muthukumarana, the captain, has bowled a good spell so far. 3.5 overs, 2 for 24. He will be looking at finishing it off very well. That's a bad misfield indeed. That should have been a dot ball, really. That's a bad misfield by the fielder at the short square leg or the square leg region. And that's a single, 124 for 7. And that's the end of Akalanka Muthukumarana's spell of 2 for 24 or 4 overs. He bowled fairly well. And now comes the last over. That's going to be a toss-up between Dilan Parnamana and Hiru Kalansuri. Hiru Kalansuri, of course, has bowled a few more wides than Dilan Parnamana. But let's see who's going to bowl right now. It seems to be Dilan Parnamana. 2 overs, 2 for 22. Of course, Hiru Kalansuri has a better average, or economy rate rather. He was only at 8, and Dilan Parnamana was going at about 11, but it's still going to be Dilan Parnamana. And one thing can be assured, Dulanga Balale is certainly going to swing his arms. He's going to get as much as possible. He's been getting it singles right now, but let's see how it goes. 124 for the loss of 7 wickets. This is the last over of the game. Last over of the innings, rather. There's a lot of adjustments being done on the field. The bowler is taking his own time. Confusion whether to get the sweeper cover in or not. But yeah, he's been pushed back. I think he tried it's an attempted slow one. It's an attempted slow delivery. Are they going to go for the second? Nope. They didn't want to challenge the throwers. The fielder, they didn't want to challenge the fielder's arms. So that's a single again. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe on strike right now. Dulanga Balale, 9 of 10. He's been able to get singles, but he's not been able to clear the boundary lines. So it's going to be an interesting to see as to how many more runs can the boys from Dambulla get. There we go. That's a good hit. That was a good hit indeed. Coming up. Is it going to be a catch? No, not really. That's 2 runs. That's very good running indeed. It actually got more air than speed. And the ball just dropped a little bit in front. The fielder was not going there full throttle, but it's okay. It's 2 runs, so it's 127 for the loss of 7 wickets. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe on 8. They'll be looking at 4 more such blows. And that's what they're looking at. Dilan Parnamana fairly expensive so far. That's down the leg side. That's poor bowling indeed. And that's a single as well. That's a misfield by the keeper and wide. So that's 2 additional runs. That's gold. That's pure gold for the batters from Dambulla. 129 for the loss of 7 wickets. Or rather, it should be 131 for 7, I think. 120. Yeah, 129 for the loss of 7 wickets, yes. 4 more deliveries to go. You could see 4 more swinging bats. There we go again. Goes for a hoik. That's wide. That's another wide indeed. Dilan giving away a lot of runs. That's 130. Oh, that's an attempted back of the hand slow ball. That's a good invention indeed. That's an attempted back of the hand slow ball. Possibly a little bit of a leg cut as well. The cut taking it away is a good try. Hats off to the bowler for trying all the stuff. That's straight up in the air. Again falls into the no man's land. Again 2 runs. These are interesting. These are very important runs for the boys from Dambulla. 131 for the loss of 7, 132 for the loss of 7 wickets rather. 3 more balls to go. Good to see the doctors trying those cutters, slow ones, back of the hand slow ones, which is very difficult to bowl as well. And I'm just wondering whether I could also see a knuckle bowl by any chance. That's another slow one. Bowled into the pitch. That's very well executed indeed. That was very well executed indeed. Bowled into the pitch. Slow off the pitch. Didn't get up at all. And it's a single. Dilan really knows that the batsman is looking for pace. And there he is. And he just is really taking it off. Oh, that's bowled into the pitch. But that's a half tracker. That's a 6. Oh, that's 4. That seems to be a 4. Yes, that's one bounce into the 4. That is bowled into the pitch. Another attempted slow one, but it was a half tracker bowled into the pitch, and that's 4. There we go. It just set up. It just set up nicely, and it was just hoiked it through mid-wicket region for 4 runs. Just one bounce into the fence for 4. 137 for the loss of 7 wickets. That's nicely bowled. Very, very good bowling indeed. That's brilliant. That's a lovely, lovely full-length delivery. And it's 138 for 7. At the start of the toss, at the start of play, the Galle was confident that they can restrict the batting team to 140. And then they can chase it down. So they've got almost the same number of runs. 138 for 7. So Galle need 139 of 20 overs to chase it down. So this is a wonderful bowling display. It was a good power play which was won by Dambulla Royals, whereas they went for they scored 56 runs in 6 overs for the loss of 2 wickets. But ever since then, the spinners and the medium paces of Galle Titans have really sort of cut it down. They managed to pull it back, and the score moves on to 138 for the loss of 7 wickets. So the last 14 overs has yielded only 82 runs, which is a very, very low score in the context of a T20 game. To read out the scorecard, Shehan Niluka and Chamika Palkumbara opened the batting, with Shehan Niluka scored 5 and Chamika out for 2. Asanka Sanjeeva scored a breezy 20 with 2 boundaries and a 6. Noan Chaturanga scored again another breezy 34. He was again aggressive as well. He was looking to be aggressive with 4 boundaries and a 6. Tarindu Chandrasena, a fairly steady 17 of 22 deliveries. Yasas Fernando again looked to go after the bowling, scored 19 of 21. Sudesh Jayasinghe a 3. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe and Dulanga Balale put on a fairly decent partnership, I think. Possibly a partnership for around 30 runs. Yep, it's a 29 run partnership between Dulanga Balale and Sumudhu Wickramasinghe. And in the bowling, Akalanka Muthukumar 2 for 25, Lakmal Mendis 1 for 12 of 1 over, Dilan Parnamana fairly expensive, I would say, 3 overs not for 36, Hiru Kalansurya bowled well for 1 for 16 of 2, Shehan Sanjeeva to me was the pick of the bowlers, 4 overs, he bowled 13 dot balls, 13 runs and 1 wicket. That was brilliant bowling. And Lasit Navodya ably supported him in the middle overs. 4 overs, 2 for 22, and Vimukti Senanayake 2 overs, not for 14. So it was Hiru Kalansurya, it was actually Shehan Sanjeeva and Lasit Navodya who really pegged back. Those 8 overs went for only 35 runs, and they picked 3 wickets, and that really changed the tone of the game. And with that, we'll go back, and then we'll be back with when the Dambulla Royals when the Galle Titans come back to bat.
Like squeegee men,
There we go. The match is about to start. Galle Titans require another 139 runs in 20 overs. Chasing 138 for the loss of 7 wickets by Dambulla. In the league encounter, Galle Titans did beat Dambulla by a fairly handsome 61 runs. But this time, it's the other way around where they have to chase the target set by Dambulla Royals. So let's see how Galle Titans are going to do it. In the points table in the league stage, Galle Titans were at number 3 and Dambulla at number 4 with Jaffna number 5. This tournament has been, there are 5 teams which has participated in this tournament, which is namely Colombo, Kandy, namely Colombo Super Kings, Kandy Knights. Colombo Super Kings played 4 and won 3 games. At the top of the table, Kandy Knights played 4 and won 3 again. That's number 2. Galle Titans played 4 and won 2, and Royal Doctors Dambulla played 4 and won 1, and they are the 4th. And Jaffna Healers, the one to get eliminated or knocked out, played 4 and won 1. In fact, the Jaffna Healers did beat the Dambulla Royals in their encounter, but they couldn't make any further headway. There we go. Now the match is about to commence. Tharindu Pereira. Tharindu Pereira to bowl to Shehan Sanjeeva, the left-arm spinner. That starts with a wide again. The wide fever has affected the Dambulla team as well. The Galle boys bowled more than 10 wides, and Dambulla starts with a wide with Tharindu Pereira, a tall, lanky right-arm seamer. Seems to be a fairly tall, hit-the-deck sort of bowler. And Shehan Sanjeeva, who really sort of mastered the turnaround for the Galle Titans during the bowling, is about to take lease, left-handed. Yep, that's into the rib cage, but Sanjeeva up to the task, sort of turning it around towards the square leg region for a single. And he is opening the batting with Chennai Hathugoda. The score is on 2 for the loss, without a loss. Good to see some happy spectators over there. There were 4 spectators just showing the thumbs up. Nice to see them. Lush green outfield, lush green atmosphere, and quite rocky as well. A very, very pleasant place to play a game of cricket. But of course, it's steaming hot right at the middle. But that's again been sort of slightly blown away by this cool atmosphere, the cool look and feel, and also that slight breeze, ever so slight breeze indeed. There we go, the lanky Tharindu Pereira. Goes back and flat bats it towards the long off region for 4 runs. That's a good hit indeed. Chennai Hathugoda showing his intent very, very clear. Tharindu giving a little bit of space, I would say. Short, bowled into the pitch, getting the ball to come up a little bit. But there was a little bit of space to sort of free his arm for the batter, and that was duly obliged. Yes, that was slightly short. He was on the front foot rather, coming down the track. Got that elevation. He had the space to free his arms, and that's 4 runs. That's again slightly like sideways of the delivery. Trying to create the space on the offside. It goes like sideways of the delivery and then places it towards the cover region for a single. Chennai Hathugoda showing a lot of intent. And Shehan Sanjeeva seems to be the sword who's going to sort of work it around. So 7 without loss. This is the first over in progress. Chasing a target of 139. Shehan Sanjeeva on 1. And Chennai Hathugoda on 5. A slightly floated outside the off stump. And a beautiful shot towards the sweep extra cover region, but still a single. It was in the air. It was uppish. It was slightly wide outside the off stump. Shehan Sanjeeva going after it. And that's only a single. A good looking shot though. It was a very good looking stroke indeed towards the sweeper cover region. And that's a single. Score is on 8. Tharindu Pereira operating from the scoreboard end, or rather from the pavilion end. Tall, lanky lad. There we go. Very classical action. Again, that's a good hit. No, that's a slight miss hit, I would say. He was trying to hit much more straighter, but it kind of skewed towards the mid-wicket region. Lucky not to go into the hands of the fielder. Chennai Hathugoda really trying to take it on. He's trying to sort of camp on the front foot and then swing his bat through the line. But it might not be that easy to play that shot against Tharindu Perera, because Tharindu Perera is lanky and is bowling into the pitch, trying to get the ball up a little bit. It's outside the off stump, going for that little cut. That's a wide. That's the second wide of the over. 11 so far of this over. Chasing a target of 139. Channa on 7 and Shehan on 2. The fairly lengthy over. Start with the first ball with a wide, and then again the last ball has gone for a wide as well. That's again balled into the pitch. Batsman not getting the timing, managed to get the placement right, but couldn't get the required timing to sort of pummel it over the mid-wicket region. That's more like a Pathum Nisanka shot, whereas he would possibly put it beyond the boundary line. But Channa was not able to sort of time it properly, possibly because of the angle and the bounce which Tharindu Perera was getting. So, but still ended up getting 2 runs. It's a very profitable over for Galle. That's 13 without loss. Channa had to go on 9 and Shehan Sanjeev on 2. Channa showing a lot of intent, and of course Tharindu Perera not afraid to sort of bounce the ball a little bit into the pitch. And it's a good, interesting game on the card so far. Chasing a target of 139. Galle is on 13 without loss at the end of over number 1. Galle Titans. Yeah, that sounds more like an LPL team name. Of course, the Galle Titans was one of the franchises before, and later on it changed into Galle Marvels. Early introduction of spin into the attack, is that right? No, not really. Again, a bit of medium pace. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe coming into bowl. He has the best bowling figures of 2 for 26. Has taken only 3 wickets so far out of 5 matches. We don't have too much of statistics to share, but seems like a capable bowler and has been entrusted with the new ball to come from the rock end. There we go. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe. That's a good shot indeed. Outside the off stump, a little bit of space outside the off stump. That's going to be the boundary line. Yes, it is. That's fairly well timed as well. There's more width offered by the bowler. He was just trying to bowl into the pitch, and the seam movement took it away a little bit more than he expected. And as a result, it gave that little width what the batter was looking for, and that's boundary. There we go. Yep, he was just trying to cut it in, bowl it into the pitch. But that's 4 runs. The length was okay. It was slightly too short. In the meantime, it's also slightly wider as well. The line isn't good. There we go. That's much better. That's much better indeed. Bowling more into the batsman. Bowling to your field. Bowling more into the batter. That's a much better line and length. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe getting his radar right. The score moves on to 17 without loss. That's again good length, good line, bowling to the field. It's a fairly well packed field on the offside. The close-in cordon, or rather the inner ring, is fairly well packed indeed, well protected, and he's bowling to that line. He's also got the boundary riders on the offside as well. We have a third man and fine leg, of course, on the other side. Oh, that's the bad delivery. That is a very, very bad delivery indeed. The field is not there. It's a 6-3 field on the offside, and he can't bowl on the middle stump, middle and leg. That's poor bowling indeed. That's absolutely poor bowling indeed. There we go. That's easy pickings for the batter. Just into the rib cage. He just had to swivel and then get the placement right, and that's 4 runs. There we are. That's outside the leg stump. That's very bad indeed. That's again another poor piece of bowling. The bowler, Sumudhu Wickramasinghe, is not bowling to his field at all. The field is packed on the offside, and he's bowling into the batter And he's just leaking runs on the onside. That's another boundary. Back-to-back boundaries. This is poor bowling indeed. There we go again. He's just trying to. It's too straight. You can't have that field and bowl that line. You can't have this field and bowl that line. Now I think there is a little bit of a change in the field. We could possibly see a little bit more conventional. Yeah, there's one more field on the onside, on the deep mid-wicket region. The fine leg comes up. And there is another field added on the onside. Earlier it was a 6-3. Now it's at least a 5-4. That's nicely played. Oh, that's beautifully played indeed. That gap was picked to precision. It was a perfectly executed cover drive. Just got that gap beautifully, and that's a lovely hit indeed. Shreyan Sanjeev in his elements. That's a lovely stroke. 3 consecutive boundaries to end the over, and Sumudu has given away 4 boundaries in this over so far. Oh, that's lovely. That's beautiful. It was on the stumps. Just angle the bat a little bit, pick that gap. It was a very small gap indeed. Through the covers, and that's 4. That's a vintage Sangakkara kind of shot. $29 for the loss of no wickets, 2 overs, and Galle Titans are on the move. That's a very poor, extremely expensive and very poor over indeed from Sumudu Wickramasinghe. He was not bowling to his field. The last one was not too bad, but it was beautifully played. The gap was pierced lovely. That gap was pierced very, very well indeed. And the momentum shift happening towards the Galle Titans. The first, again, just to recap, the first power play during the batting of Dambulla Royals, it was won by Dambulla, but ever since then, the Galle Titans have slowly but surely clawed back, and now they're starting to dominate. They just gotten 29 runs of the first 2 overs. And this is very, very good batting indeed. Proper, good cricket, good batting. There's a change in bowling. Yasanta Harsha, the number 4. Oh, that's a good delivery. That's a very, very good delivery indeed. That is on point. That's on line. Good line. And just a little bit of deviation off the pitch, I would say. Yasanta Harsha. That's a lovely delivery. Channa Yahatugod started aggressively, but Shreyan Sanjeev has taken over with those 4 boundaries. It's a good delivery again. It was into the stumps. Angling into the batter as well. Again, Channa going for that hoik. He's going hard. Quite rightly so. He's going hard at the bowlers. But it was a good fielding at the square leg region. Short square leg region. That's a single. I think Galle really have to look for some wickets. They probably have to figure out a way to buy a wicket right now. Otherwise, this onslaught is going to go on and on. Shreyan Sanjeev on 8 and Channa Yahatugod on 10. 109 required of 106 deliveries. Galle Titans on the move. But of course, Dambulla should also keep in mind that they had a good power play, but Galle really clawed back. So obviously, if they stick to their basics and bowl well, sensibly, they still have a very good chance of making a match of this. There we go, Yasanta Harsha. That's into the pitch, driven nicely towards the extra cover region. No run. Bit of encouragement coming in for the batting side. There we go. Shreyan Sanjeev looking very elegant indeed. That's again on the onside. Beautifully played. That's a lovely shot indeed. He seems to be quite competent. Square of the wicket on both sides. He played a magnanimous cover drive in the earlier over and played a few good-looking pull shots to the mid-wicket region as well. That's again short. It's very again poor bowling indeed. They've been feeding him short. He's scored so far 5 boundaries, and all of them are, except for one, are off the short deliveries. That's off the leading edge. Lucky, I would say. There was no field on that in the mid-wicket region, short mid-wicket region. It's a single, and the score moves on to 35 without loss. Shehan Sanjeev on 23 scored 5 boundaries, and Channa Hathagoda on 10. He too scored a couple of boundaries early. I mean, just a while ago, Channa looked the aggressor, but now it seems that Shehan Sanjeev has sort of taken over. 104 required of 103 balls. It's a runner ball. It's easy in a T20 game. Yasantha Harsha. That's slightly slower off the pitch, I would say. Maybe attempted a slow one. Going for that Hoik. Maybe he was trying to hit the ball to Timbuktu. He was going hard at it rather than trying to get any timing in it. And no runs. So at the end of over number 3, Galle Titans 35 without loss. They're going at 12 and over. Good start by the Galle Titans and pretty poor bowling so far, I would say, by the Dambulla Royals. Again, change of bowling. Samudra Wickramasinghe taken out immediately from the attack, and now it's Shehan Niluka coming in. A little bit of medium pace to continue from Shehan Niluka. And Shehan to bowl to Shehan. This is Shehan Sanjeev. That's up in the air. That's up in the air. It's going to be a chance. That's dropped indeed. The fielder completely misjudged it, I would say. That should have been taken. He really couldn't judge it very well. He was all over the place. And promptly dropped as well. That's a big blow indeed. Shehan Sanjeev looking very good and very dangerous, and that's a big miss, and not too sure what impact it's going to have on the game today. There we go. He was just trying to go after it. Got more air elevation. That's nicely played onto the onside, a single. That is a big miss indeed by Dambulla. Really, they are looking for wickets. You can't drop these kind of chances. There we go. Look at that catch. The fielder didn't quite get under it, I would say. He couldn't judge it very well. Yep, he was just trying to take it from over his head, but completely misjudged it. That was a bad miss indeed. That's nicely played. Oh, that's lofted through the infield, and it's a single. Shehan Sanjeev was batting very well except for the ill-advised stroke. He's played some wonderful shots indeed, quite a few through the mid-wicket region, mid-wicket and square leg region, and a lovely sumptuous cover drive on the offside. That was a treat to watch. There we go now, Shehan Niluka from the fourth end. That's a good hit in the again. Dished out. Too many short deliveries, too many short balls being delivered at the Galle Titans doctors, and Channa Hathagoda this time lashed onto it. Timed it sweetly, and that's 44 for the loss, without loss. There we go. That's again another short delivery, absolutely short indeed. It's a nothing ball at all. Yep, rocked back. I mean, he came on the front foot and then again rocked back, got that elevation right, bent that body, and got that boundary. Oh, that's an ugly hoik. That's an ugly hoik. He was just really tempted to go after the bowling. He was nowhere near that ball to hit that. He was not in a position at all. I think these two really should go after, but they should be very intelligent in the way they're batting as well. 44 without loss. A good partnership going on right now. This is the fourth over in progress. That's nicely hit again. That's cute. Another chance. Oh, that's again dropped. The second chance being dropped over here. Is that the same fielder? Now both the batters have given the chances, and both chances have gone a begging. And it's absolutely unfortunate for Shehan Niluka. Shehan Niluka did bowl all right except for that previous delivery for boundary, and that's an absolute crime. 2 easy catches being dropped. I think it's the same fielder who has dropped both. It seems that the ball is following him, and it's absolutely unfortunate indeed. 2 drop chances, easily should have been 2 wickets right now. But Galle Titans, they survive. Both Channa and Shehan Sanjeeva, they do survive to fight another day. That's a change in bowling, is that right? No, sorry. Yeah, there is a change. Let's see who the new bowler is. We got the 2 scorers in experienced, Brian De Silva, and of course the other scorer is experienced as well. Two easy chances gone a begging for Dambulla. Galle Titans riding on that luck. They've been batting very well as well. It was poor bowling and poor fielding. It's going to cost the match for Dambulla if that happens. Again, the third catch. Yes, that's taken. At last, the catch has been taken. Again, I think it's the same fielder, of course. It seems to be the same fielder who has dropped the catches before, but he managed to get one. So at last, the catch being taken by Dambulla. A good breakthrough indeed. They've been looking for this breakthrough. 44 for the loss of 1 wicket. That was a poor stroke indeed. It was on the offside. He should have gone straighter, or probably should have gone on the offside, but he just tried to turn his bat around and go through the onside. And that's the reason for this catch. It was an easy catch at the end. Dambulla clings on, hangs on. 44 for the loss of 1 wicket. Shehan Sanjeeva being dismissed. He was looking pretty dangerous indeed. He was batting very well. Scored a few shots. Played a few pulls and a lovely cover drive as well. The new man in is Binara Vihanga, and the wicket taker is Yasanta Harsha. 46 for the loss of 1 wicket. This is the 5th over in progress. Yasanta Harsha took that breakthrough. His second over, he bowled a decent first over as well. He gave away only 6 runs, and in the very first delivery of his second over, he managed to get that wicket. That is good bowling indeed. He managed to peg them back a little bit. Let's see what Binura Vihanga and Channa Yathagoda can do. That was a big wicket of Shehan Sanjeeva. He was batting very well indeed. He was hitting the ball beautifully. Of course, in the last couple of overs, there were a few miscues which were creeping in. He gave a chance a couple of overs before. Sorry, he gave a chance in the last over, the very first ball of the last over, and then of course perished in the first ball of the next over. So didn't cost Dambulla that much, but again they've also dropped Yathagoda as well. So 46 for the loss of 1 wicket. That's wide down the leg side. Not a good follow-up delivery. Yasanta Harsha, after taking that wicket, just going down, angling it down way too much. Look at that catch. He was down the track. The head was not in position at all. It was moving all over the place. Feet not up to the delivery. Pitch of the delivery. Oh, that's nicely played down the leg side. Nope, that's again a wide. Yes, indeed. Another wide. The wide fever continues. 48 for the loss of 1 wicket. Dambulla can ill afford to give these runs, extra runs. They've already dropped a few catches, couple of catches on the field. They've given away a few wides already so far. And this is not good cricket at all. They had a few misfields as well. Oh, that's nicely played into the covers. Slightly uppish. Kept the fielders a little bit interested. That's 2 runs. Number 008 really went back and really pulled it back a little bit. It was slightly uppish, but safe into the gap, and that's two welcome runs for Binara Vihanga. The score moves on to 50 up for the the Galle Titans. 50 for the loss of 1 wicket. And that's onto the pads, driven away nicely or flicked nicely towards the mid-wicket region for a single. 51 for the loss of 1 wicket. That's again, it's again another wide, but again going for that hike. No feet movement at all, not going behind the line of the delivery, just switching the bat a little bit here and there. Living dangerously, but that's a wide though. 52 for the loss of 1 wicket. It's a good shot. That's a very good shot indeed. Just evades the deep mid-on fielder, and that's 4 runs. It was in the air, kept the fielder interested. But it was on towards the left of the fielder, and that's 4 runs. That's a good shot by Channa Yathugoda. Yep, that's it. He just rolled his wrists over to get that elevation in, to get that placement right. It just kept the mid-on field a little bit interested in, but it was still far away from his reach, and that's 4 runs. Good shot indeed. Timed nicely as well. Again goes for the shot. The base wasn't right. The head wasn't at the right place. The head moving all over, and as a result, not getting the connection. But if you look at the previous shot, what he played, he was on top of the delivery, and he just caressed it, or rather, he just lofted it over the mid-on fielder for 4. But this one, he was just going after it. It's again a swish on the onside, a single. That's a single to end the over. Fairly lengthy over, I would say 3 wides. And has given away 17 runs in total in 2 overs, Yasanta Harsha. The score moves on to 57 for the loss of 1 wicket. That's at the end of 5 overs. There's 1 more over of power play to go. And the Dambulla team will be really looking to sort of get another wicket before the power play is over. But whereas the Galle Titans will be really keen on making the most of it. .57 for the loss of 1 wicket. The last over of the power play coming into play. That's, I think, there's again another change in bowling. Let's see who's going to bowl. That's skewed on the offside again. That's out. That's out of the reach of that fielder. It's again a miscued stroke. Tarindu Pereira coming back to his second over. He started the bowling. It was again a poor stroke. Just throwing the bat at it. Channa Yathugoda really throwing the bat at it. It just caught the outside edge, but just out of the reach of that fielder. 2 runs scored, so 59 for the loss of 1 wicket. Tarindu Pereira looked good, though he leaked away a lot of runs. That's placed towards the mid-off region. It's a decent delivery. Just pushed it towards the mid-off region for a single. That's 60. The score moves on to 60. I think the Galle Titans will be looking at, to take the score to beyond 70 in the power play, which will be a good score to have, because they have to score then about only 69 runs, another 70 runs in 14 overs. But whereas the Dambulla side will be looking forward to getting a breakthrough before the power play is over, so that they can peg them back with a new batter coming in, especially the wicket of Channa Yathugoda. That's down the leg side. An appeal for LPW, but it's certainly going down the leg side. It's slightly on the high side as well. Yep, that's way down the leg side, and of course it hit the thigh pad as well. So that's no damage done. A very ambitious appeal, I would say. 60 for the loss of 1 wicket. Tarindu Pereira, the decent comeback over so far. That's down the leg side again. A commentator's curse, as I said before. Decent comeback over, and he goes down with the wide. This is the second time which has happened to me, so I suppose I should refrain from using these phrases to the benefit of the Dambulla team. So 61 for the loss of 1 wicket. That's another wide. I think too many wides have been bowled so far. 7 wides have been bowled, or 6 wides have been bowled by Dambulla, which is 1 additional over within the power play. So literally they're bowling 7 power play overs. That's a good delivery, very good delivery. Played nicely back to the place, nicely to the short extra cover region. There's no runs. Good tight delivery by Tarindu. Keeping it nice, keeping it simple, nice there and thereabouts. Just trying to hit the deck. But he's improved his length. He was slightly on the short side in the first over, but he's managed to sort of push it up a little bit. Oh, that's shorter. That's again skewed. Quite a lot of miscues. I think couple of miscues were dropped, and a few miscues have fallen in the no man's land. So the Galle Titans have been a bit lucky, I would say. Though they played some good shots, they've also sort of had a fair amount of luck as well. A few miscues have fallen into no man's land, and a couple of drop catches as well. So 162 for 1. Again, Channe Hatugoda, Binara Vihanga rather this time. Oh, that's beautifully bowled. That's a lovely delivery indeed. Loud appeal for caught behind. That's an extremely loud appeal for caught behind indeed. That's a very, very good delivery indeed. Let's see the replay. That's an interesting replay indeed. Oh, that's between the bat and pad. Nope, I don't think it hit anything. Possibly the pads maybe. It's a nice delivery. Yep, fuller on length. Inside the front pad. How did that miss that leg stump? How really did that miss that leg stump? That was so close indeed. And a loud appeal for caught behind. And that's the end of the power play. It's a good last over by Tarindu Pereira. He just gave only 5 runs. It was a good comeback. 5 overs, 57. And then the last over, he just gave you only 3 runs. Or 5 runs. In the commentary box, we also have Dr. Krishanta Jayasekara, a consultant physician, and an avid cricket enthusiast as well. And he's of course he's a player as well. So he's playing for Galle Titans. Right away.
I think we. Right. So thank you very much for inviting. Actually, this is the third place match between Galle Titans and Dambulla Royals. I think we've been playing, the Galle Titans have been playing very good, competitive cricket throughout the year, and this has been the pinnacle of our cricket season. And there had been ups and downs, and as you know, we with our duty commitments, it's been difficult for us to play on a regular basis, but we've been playing so competitive good cricket locally as well as with the regions.
That's good indeed. And I've of course heard a lot about the Doctors Cricket League and possibly lawyers as well. And I believe there's a rivalry between the doctors and lawyers as well in terms of cricket, right?
Not only cricket, but more so in cricket, I suppose. Yeah. So we have regional doctors versus lawyers, Kandy, Jaffna, and Galle.
Correct.
So that actually that builds a lot of friendship between the two professionals who are at the highest pinnacle of their careers. So it's been a friendly tussle, but that. Yeah. Okay.
I guess the tussle is between the the professional tussle between the JMOs and the that's on the lighter side. That's a good shot indeed, played through the offside. Chennai Hathugoda has been looking good. Of course, there have been a few misses on the field, isn't it? There were quite a couple of catches dropped and a few mishits.
Yeah, that's right. I think this is one of the aspects that the doctors have to improve the fielding, because they are not on a regular, fielding practice session. Whenever they get some time off, they get some net practice, and they might be doing bowling and batting, but they have to improve on their field. I totally agree.
Yep. So do you think I know Galle Titans have been batting very well, but do you think they've been slightly lucky as well? 2 drop chances plus a few miss hits, for falling into no man's land.
Yeah, but of course in this tournament we've been a little unlucky as well. I think if you go back to the history of the first match where the Galle Titans had to get 12 on the last over, and we lost it. So that was then the second. Then the other match that we lost against Colombo was a rain-restricted match. But Colombo played really well. So there had been ups and downs in the decisions. But I suppose that's true, because there had been 2 drop chances. But they bat deep down onto their batting line. They have a wonderful batting lineup. So.
Yeah, I could see the glimpse of it at least. Channa was going after the bowling, and then Shayan Sanjeev. I saw that cover drive. It was beautiful. He just pierced the gap. Sort of bisected literally 3 fielders. I don't know how he got it, but I hope that it was intentional. But it was a beautiful shot he played. So it's good to see the doctors. As I said before, we picturize you guys with all the stethoscopes and the surgical knives and whatever and whatnot, right? And of course the surgical masks and stuff like that. But good to see you guys with the bats and balls.
That's right. I think we rarely get some anyway. So every Sunday that's the one off day that we find most of us that either we do some practice or we play a match, and of course the other day that we play is on a Poya day where we can find at least 11 to play. Bit challenging at times.
I guess even today you were able to find only 12, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at the name cards. Actually, the cards are with me over here, and then of course there were 12, and then anyway there was a conversation with the umpires as well on that. So the score moves on to 766 for the loss of 1 wicket. I think Galle Titans right now they're sitting pretty. Oh, that's again miscued. That's another lucky one. Another lucky break, as I said before, to the Galle Titans. It was falling in the no man's land, possibly.
So there is luck on our side this time, I suppose. Yes. I just need to tell something about the spectrum of the team here. So I'm 56 years, and Chennai Hathugoda, he's a professor in parasitology attached to the University of Roorkee Faculty of Medicine. He's 51. So and we have 40s, 30s, and we have very young guys now. For instance, one who's just finished his undergraduate.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That's a good shot by, as you spoke about Binra, that's a good shot by Binra, just turning it off his hips. That's a boundary. The score moves on to 71 for 1. I think from Dambulla, I think Tarinder Pereira, though he is a little expensive, but he seems to be a good proper bowler.
That's right. Yeah, his run up, his approach and his delivery all are perfect actually. Yeah, but he's been unlucky because a couple of catches have been dropped.
Correct. Yeah, I think this one, the last one was off his bowling, off his own, of this guy's bowling, and then there were a couple of other catches were dropped on of Sumudu Vikramasinghe's bowling, I believe. Oh, that's a good shot through the point region. Sorry, through deep extra over. That's a 6.
That's a good. I think that's what I said. Young guns are on fire now. So Binner Vihang, I think he's just finished his medical school. He's just started to be just on the training as to be a doctor. So is on fire. So nice to see these young guys coming because of the duty commitment. Very few people, most of them give up their cricket career, but with the commitment. So it's very nice that some people are continuing their cricket career, and it's nice to see these guys playing, and you see their strength as well with this shot.
That's a very good shot indeed. That's a very classical one. You just played over the extra cover fielder for 6 runs. That's a lovely shot. Most of the time you see hoiks on the onside, or maybe pulls on the onside, but to see a stroke over extra cover, slightly inside out, that's really beautiful watching.
Yeah. So I think we need to talk a little bit about the undergraduate training as well. So we have a very hectic 5 years, and we do play cricket, intermediate faculty cricket, and so that's one of the team. Actually, that's one of the things that we have been continuing, and that's why we are finding talent here. And I'm really thankful to the organizers for these are second doctors at the Premier League, and they have found some of these guys actually we have never seen, and you can't imagine how they play, how well they play, and so that's so you have the talent all in.
That's again a big hit. A bit of football skills tried, but I would say this is a cricket ball and not a football. But again, as you said, we got to give that leverage to the doctors because they're not full-time professional cricketers. They're playing it as a part-time. So obviously, not used to the fieldings and so on and so forth. So we can't be too harsh about them. But again, it's good to see the doctors playing cricket. I don't think, except for doctors and lawyers and possibly public services, you don't see any other professional services bodies playing cricket, isn't it?
I think there is a professional league, and there are other professionals also playing. So there are engineers are playing. So there are a lot of other professionals playing. So, but I think I might be wrong, but these are the two professions that play at a higher level of cricket. So. That's nice to see that this actually was a dream, and we are really thankful to the young people who are behind organizing this, and the Sri Lanka Medical Association, Sri Lanka Cricket have also given shoulders to actually bring this into reality.
Yeah, I think there's a regional tournament as well, right? Because I remember hearing or seeing about maybe like a South Asian lawyers or medical kind of tournament was there as well last year, if I remember.
That's right. Yeah, okay. So that's where I think these people are finding. So one good thing is that they were able to find some young talent to formulate a team of good doctors cricket team. So that's one of the objectives of this tournament, and they have been successful last year.
Yep, Yasanta Harsha has been fair. I think probably has been the pick of the bowler so far. He's taken the only wicket, and he's been quite tight as well in comparison to the others. So 24 is given away 20 runs and taken a wicket. 80 for 1. I think Galle Titans sitting pretty right now. That's a good shot indeed towards the long on region, slightly flat batted. Possibly a Chennai Hathugoda special. That seems to be a signature shot, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, I think he's very strong on his legs. Yeah, so he pulls the ball well. So
81 for the loss of 1 wicket. Binara Vihanga, the young Binara Vihanga, as explained by Dr. Krishant Jayasekara, and of course Chennai Hathugoda, the elder statesman.
That's right.
A quick single. I mean, good to see again. I wouldn't have figured out the age unless you have told me, because he's been running quite fast as well.
That's right. Yeah. So that's now even in the other teams also. I think there are various calibers of doctors, consultants. Still, they are committed to play in spite of their very tight schedules.
That's a big hit again towards the long on region. Is it going to be 2? Not really. Managed to cut it down for single. So 82 for the loss of 1 wicket, 83 for the loss of 1 wicket, 8.4 overs. I guess it's cruise control mode enabled for Galle Titans.
Yeah, but you never know. Cricket is the game which is quite very uncertain at times. So if you lose a couple of wickets, you are in trouble. So we have to be very careful till you are very safe. I would not say we are still on the safe mode, so we are cruising. I totally agree, but we need to play safe.
Yeah, I think very similarly, even when Dambulla was batting, they were 56 for 2. I think they lost the first 2 wickets in the first 2 overs, and they came back and they were 56 for 2 in 6 overs. And I think Shayan Sanjeev and the other medium pacey, he sort of pulled. Yeah, Lasit pulled it back, and they just managed to muster only 138.
Yeah, but there was a very good partnership for, I think, the 4th wicket or so. There was a very good partnership, and in the middle of the innings. So I think they had a very good batter. That's Shehan Niluka was an excellent batsman, and he got a wonderful in-swinger from Akalanka.
Correct. Yeah, that was a good one actually. That just nicked back and it just went to the bat and pad. The score moves on to 86 for the loss of 1 wicket. Yasanta Harsha completes his spell of 4 overs, 1 for 26, pretty decent. But looks like Dambulla is slightly thin on the bowling options compared to what you guys had, what the Galle Titans had.
But that's right. Yeah, but I think they bet deep. They have. I suppose they don't have a good decent. They don't have decent spin.
Correct.
So most of the other teams rely on a lot of spin. They are heavy on their spin attack, which is friendly for this sort of a wicket. I suppose. I think they might be. So I haven't yet seen a spin attack coming up. So hopefully we will be seeing a spin coming up soon.
Correct. But I think when you guys bowled, when Shahan Sanji was brilliant. I mean, he was really nice. He gave away only 13 runs and took a wicket as well. He was able to angle the ball in and sort of take it away a little bit. He managed to create that little doubt. Of course, when I looked at the pitch in the morning, it wasn't a bad track. It wasn't a turning track at all. Of course, there was a little turn. There's a little softness over there, but it's a good pitch to play on. By the way,
I think this today is a little different from the previous days that we have seen. There is a little bit of a you could see some bounce as well, some carry. So that's why Shahan was very effective today. Yeah,
that's right. That's good. I mean, it's a good wicket to bat on. It's a good wicket to play. There's a bit on. In fact, there was a little deviation for the pace, medium paces as well. They were able to get some cutters going. Yeah. So I think it seems to be a fairly balanced wicket. A good one prepared by.
Yeah, definitely. Today is a very good wicket, and I will be seeing a tough tussle, the final between Colombo and Kandy in the afternoon as well.
So there we go. The first sign of spin into the attack. Sudesh Jayasinghe. There we go. Left arm spin. Oh, that's nicely played in. Rocked back, played into the covers. Is that a 4? Yes, it stopped. Good fielding over there, right in the boundary line, restricting it to a single. That should have been 2 runs, but I think, did they get 2? No.
No, they didn't make 2. Yeah.
That should have been 2, ideally.
I think. Yeah.
Because they could have run for the. That's in fact, they could have actually gone for the second run. They didn't do that. Talking about left-arm spinners, there are a lot of left-arm spinners coming in. One of the Sri Lanka's premier foremost left-arm spinner is from this region.
That's right, Ranganeherath.
Yes. Yeah. And then I think there was an Ekanaik as well, right? He was doing very well in the first-class structure. I think he's still a coach right now. I forgot his surname.
Yeah,
that's. Sudesh Jayasinghe seems to be one of those younger breeds of doctors.
Yeah, that's right. His last ball was superb. I think Channa was beaten.
Again, going for that hoik on the onside. Miss hit, I would say. They're going for 2 runs. Yep, managed to cut it down from the boundary line. Score moves on to 89 for the loss of 1 wicket in 9.4 overs. 10th over in progress. Again, 50 runs required of 62 deliveries. Pretty easy going, I would say. That's again a poor hit indeed. Again, this is they're not watching the ball. They're not playing the line of the delivery. They're trying to go across the stumps. In fact, the onside is boundary lines are all fairly packed as well. There is a mid wicket in place. There is a square leg in place as well. So they got to be very careful with that shot. There we go again. Another similar type of stroke. Ball is outside the off stump, but it's trying to go onside. I mean, easily they should really be looking at piercing the offside field.
I think we are on the. I think 10 overs gone, so are they on a drink break?
Yeah, that's the drinks break. 89 for 1. Galle Titans chasing a target of 139. 50 more runs required of 10 overs. 9 wickets to go. It's right on top. Galle Titans right on top for the 3rd place. But you never know, as you again said, a game is not over until it's over, right? So. I believe there are more bowling spin options out there. Sudesh Jayasinghe has started very well. He bowled a good over, just gave away 3 runs. Shahan Nilukar has bowled only 1 over. Yasanta Harsha had a good spell of 1 for 26. Sumudhu Wickramasinghe had a fairly disappointing over. He gave away 4 boundaries, and that was a bad over. That actually shifted the momentum. Tharindu Perera, though he looked good, he has been slightly expensive. So we'll have to look at the other bowling options and see as to how it pans out.
The weather had been quite friendly today, isn't it? I think there have two matches that had to be curtailed due to the morning matches had to be restricted due to the bad weather. But finally we were able to get results on that. So that is how we reached to this stage. Without any cancellations and other things. So, but though the overs were restricted, we were able to finish some matches. But it's very important that most of people, they have booked their leave well in advance, and that's why we have to stick to the times and dates, everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and weather has been wonderful. In fact, even in the morning, it was pretty nice. It wasn't too hot. Right now, of course, it's a bit hot, but I think it's there is also the thin breeze sort of which is going on, which is actually helping the doctors, I would say. Just a while ago, it got a little gloomy, which was nice as well. But again, now it's more sunshine. So I hope that we will be able to see a fantastic finals as well.
Yes, of course. It's going to be I think it's a repeat of last year's final as well. Kandy versus Colombo is going to be a tough tussle. So
and Colombo will, of course, hope that it won't get repeated again. Because last year results was Kandy won, right?
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah. It was. There was a century. There was a wonderful century by Dr. Thilna Samarasinghe last year. That was actually a highlight of the final. So you rarely see hundreds in a 2020 final, but it was still in on that day, and he hit some massive sixes. Still, of course, he's out of the country this year, isn't it? So there's the other thing happening now. We have a transfer policy where doctors have to transfer out in 4 years. So next year, some of the players might be playing for a different team. So
that's a good shot indeed. That's a very good shot. Of course, it finds the fielder. Probably didn't get the placement right, but it's a good shot indeed. Good hike towards the mid-wicket region for a single. Nuwan Chaturanga, the new bowler. Another spinner coming into action. The second spinner for Dambulla. Dambulla will be really looking at getting some spin bowling options. There we are again. That's a good shot. Slightly straighter, but I think it's very well protected the boundary lines are. And he's bowling to those lines. The bowling to those boundary lines. Bowling to the field. His lengths are good. He's not giving away short freebies. He's just bowling into the batters. There we go. As I said, is that a catch? No, not really. That was a full toss. I think missed out.
That's right, yeah.
That was a full toss. That was missed out. But again, Pinara Vihanga. Let's see what he can do in this delivery. That's nice. Oh, beautifully stopped. That's a brilliant stop indeed. That's a very, very good. Oh my God. That's a very, very good fielding indeed. But again, all those efforts wasted by leaking away 2 runs. There was no cover at all. The fielder at mid-on should have gone to cover that through. But that was a wonderful, wonderful shot by the doctor. That's a wonderful shot. That's like a Tilakaratna Dilshan stuff. Doctor, talk us through, who does this organize? How does the body, which body does it organize? Or how does it constitute? How does it happen?
Sri Lanka Doctors Cricket, as well as Sri Lanka Medical Association. And I think it's been shouldered by the Sri Lanka Cricket as well. So
that's a very good catch. That's a very, very good catch indeed. That's a wonderful catch. That's an international class stuff indeed. Running to his right. I think, that's done by, that's Shahan Nilukar. Moving to his left, juggled a couple of times, but got it to perfection. That's a wonderful, wonderful catch indeed. That's a big wicket of Pinara Vihanga. And the spinners are putting the brakes on. Yes, that was slightly on the shorter side. Pulled the length back. Look at that catch. Running catch indeed. Oh yeah, that's a couple of juggers. That's wonderful presence of mind indeed. Yep, we got a change in commentaries. We have Dr. Rajiv Nirmalasingham coming over just to share the mic for a little bit.
Good afternoon, Narul.
Good afternoon, Rajiv. Good to see you here. I was actually about to ask a question with Dr. Krishanta. Did the Sri Lanka cricket lose any cricketers by them choosing getting into the medical profession? So I was actually about to call that there was one. But is there anyone else? You want to answer that by any chance? The first one I'll possibly I'll mention it later. But
yeah, maybe. But the cricket has taken a different form since maybe 1990s. So definitely there is talent. But is the medical fraternity or the students who are playing cricket as well as in the medical school, are they ready to take up cricket as profession? It's a little bit of a
That's why my question was like looking at some of the talents. It's like
I would say there is always a fair chance, but it is not always fair to say that the doctors have that much of a talent. But there is potential. We can always tell that there is potential. But as you know, when you've taken up a profession like medicine, there is not much of a time to take up any sport, and cricket is like a sport where you play almost all the day. So I would say potential is there, but if you ask any doctor who would like to take that challenge, but mostly 99% would say no, they would stick with their profession. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah. So just for those who doesn't know Rajiv represented Sri Lanka in the over-40 World Cup in South Africa early this year. And Rajiv is a surgeon based in Vaunia, and he's a member of the the Northern Healers, right?
Yeah.
Jaffna Healers, is it right? Jaffna Healers cricket team, of course, got knocked out. He's been also working with some of the cricketers in the north and east to develop their games and then bring them up to the forefront. So that's a little bit on Rajiv. So Vimukti Senanaik is a new batter coming in, and of course Sudesh Jayasinghe has put the brakes on to the batters. That's pushed onto the cover region for no run. So I think Dambulla seems to be coming back ever so slightly with the two spinners in operations, isn't it? I mean, the run rate has sort of dropped a little bit. There we go. That's a loud appeal for LBW. That's a single. Is that leg by? Yes, it is a leg by. So 95 for the loss of 2 wickets. Both Sudesh Jayasinghe and the other spinner have been bowling fairly well. They managed to put the brakes on, took a wicket as well. Let's see. That's an interesting. Ooh, that's pretty close. Looked pretty close, though. I know it hit the thigh.
Maybe the height is the issue.
Yep.
So Sudesh is a good left-hand leggy. He's one of the good players among this tournament, and he's one of the few left-hand spinners been considered for Sri Lanka Doctors cricket team as well.
Nice. That's good to hear. I mean, that's again a good delivery again. Again, I keep on saying that Galle Titans slightly have been lucky today. Few miss hits, gone a begging, didn't go to the hands, couple of drop chances, and this one, I don't know how it missed the stumps. It was very, very, very close indeed. Sudesh Jayasinghe has been bowling pretty well. Possibly, Dambulla should have introduced him much earlier. They should have brought the spinners much earlier than keeping them until the 8th, 9th over.
I think Dambulla lost the trick by not bringing their, the best bowler to action in the early overs. So if Sudesh was brought in kind of early, maybe 6th, 7th over, could have been a different ball game by now. Arul, this tournament is organized by Sri Lankan Medical Association, Doctors Cricket Club in collaboration with Sports and Exercise Forum for Sri Lankan Medical Association. This tournament is one of the main reasons for is to organize is to improve sports exercise among doctors, and through that we are trying to carry a message to the society as well to get involved in sports and exercise. It's always it opens up a avenue for doctors to showcase their talent to play some competitive cricket. So we have our president, Professor Chaturanga Ranasinghe, in the commentary box. He's the president of the Forum for Sports and Exercise of Sri Lankan Medical Association. It's a great pleasure to introduce him to the commentary board so that you can actually ask questions about the objectives and what are these forum for, and he will elaborate on that. And we have Jeevan Samarasena in the commentary box as well. He will be briefing on few other things as well later on. So I will give the phone the mic to Professor Chaturanga Ranasinghe.
Thanks, Rajiv. Good morning, Doctor. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
I think you've been working with a lot of these cricketers, a lot of these sports personnel. So you want to sort of share some thoughts around, how does this all pan out? The doctors playing cricket as well as maybe like in the course of the session discussion, may want to sort of share some tips and tricks as to what exactly these sports people should do to be injury free or manage injury management kind of stuff like that. So anyone who's looking after any budding cricketers who's sort of watching this telecast would possibly benefit from that.
Yes, thanks for having me here, and it's nice to be around this ground. It's a nice venue and a nice day. So your first question, how all this started, how doctors start playing cricket. Well, it has been happening for a while. I think from the time of Saranamuthu, there were doctors who've been playing cricket at the national level even. So, but this all started about 15 years ago when we started playing with the lawyers. There was a doctors and lawyers cricket match. And with that, the doctors started having their own team, doctors cricket team under Sri Lanka Medical Association. And with time, they started. Yeah, that's a nice shot there.
Yeah, that's a lovely throw indeed. Sorry, Professor, just to disturb. That was a brilliant throw from the short mid-wicket region, and that's run out. That's, I think, Channe had to go to run out. That was a wonderful piece of fielding by the Dambulla Royals. Not too sure who the fielder was or who the doctor was who actually did that throw. But that was lovely indeed. A bullseye throw. Nice direct hit. And that's gone. That's wicket number 3. The Dambulla Royals really pulling it back. Yes, I think Channa was slightly slow to take. Oh, that's a wicket keeper. Channa was slightly slow to take off. Possibly he didn't take it off in a flash. Maybe that's age catching up.
Maybe he misjudged that the keeper might come and throw it like that so accurately. So he just gave it up in the midpoint. So he would have run it.
Possible.
So, yes.
But a good knock by.
Yeah.
It was a very good knock by Channa. I think he scored 37. Pretty impressive knock. I'm told that he's into his maybe late 40s, early 50s, and it's good to see him playing cricket, and 37 valuable runs to guide the Galle Titans towards the landmark of 139.
Exactly. So I think the Titans are taking it up easily. I would say. I mean, they are cruising very well. They have a lot of wickets on hand also. So possibly we'll see how it goes.
But anyone who watched Sri Lanka playing in the last 3 T20s wouldn't say that.
Exactly. They always say it's an unpredictable game.
Yeah, so. I think I would say last 4 or 5, maybe ever since the Bangladesh game in the World Cup until the last 3 T20 games.
Yeah. We have been so unpredictable.
Yeah, to say it nicer.
Exactly. Yeah, so going back to what I mentioned about doctors cricket, so it has been there for a while, and they have started growing, playing with other professions also, lawyers, aviators, aviators, town planners, accountants. So there's a professional professional cricket league also have developed with time.
Yeah.
So that has dragged in a lot of young medical students and doctors into the game, and it has developed up to this level now. Oh, it's a nice shot.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot over the top of the long off fielder. That's going to be 4. Not really pulled back, but that's a very good shot indeed. Lofted over the head of the deep mid off fielder. And that's a couple of runs. Vimukti Senanayake trying to show some intent now after Channa's dismissal. He wants to take the aggressive role maybe. But Nuwan Chaturanga has been bowling fairly all right. This is the second over. Has given away only 9 runs and have taken a wicket as well. His first over was very good. He gave only 3 runs, or 4 runs rather. That's tossed up. That was tossed up indeed, fairly generously. And that's at the end of over number 13. Is 102 for the loss of 3 wickets. 37 runs required in 42 balls. I think it's getting a little closer. If they have a couple of more spinners, I think it's getting a little more closer than what we think.
Exactly. Another 1 or 2 wickets might really turn the game around at this stage, I would say.
Sorry, Professor. I think I had to interrupt you for that before that. So you want to sort of share on something on this? First of all, I mean, a lot of these professionals we don't take up into sports as such. How do we? Few things like again, anything you want to share on for the youngsters on the injury management, the do's and don'ts?
Yes, actually, I mean, what we see here is now. With the intensity that the cricket has gone into and all the other sports, Not like the good old days that you play a lot of cricket and you play a lot of sport. So the load of what you get is more than what you used to be. So that means to be on the pitch, you have to be fit. And so without injury free and just to play the game. So it's not only about the performance, but just staying on the pitch is very important, and to play continuously over a period of time. So if you say a youngster now, not like those days, they might play 5-6 days per week, maybe 2-hour sessions, about 4-5 2-hour sessions, so almost going up to 15-16 hours per week. And it's not like that those days. So strength and conditioning, there are 3 parts of this. Like you do training of your physique. What you do here is skill training at your normal training, but you need to have to condition your body. That's called strength and conditioning. It's another shot.
Nicely played indeed. That's nicely played. I like this guy coming down the track, just getting to the pitch of the delivery. That's Dilan Paranamana. He went for a few runs when he was bowling, but he seems to be there to make amends. He just came down the track, got to the pitch of the delivery, pushed it towards the long off region for a single. I think Galle should be really looking at, like, pushing along with singles, to keep the strike, to keep rotating the strike, so that they don't absorb any pressure. But dot balls are going to add more pressure into it. Just that's a nice delivery. I think it's a good play indeed by both these guys. Vimukti working into the square leg region for a single.
It's good to see they're rotating the strike and keeping the momentum going, and every 1 or 2 boundary would take them easily into the space that they want to get in. So talking about the strength and conditioning, I would say that is one of the most important things that the youngster should look at this stage, because if you are conditioned well, and when you really want to play, you are there to really go there and play. But at your peak level, if you start getting an injury, then it's always it's a downfall of an athlete. So
correct.
Strength and conditioning at the early stages, and getting them into doing the technique well, and getting your skills at the same time. The third part of it is your recovery. Actually, that is something we don't do.
Yes. I think that's something which is even something which is ignored, isn't it? I mean, I've seen in some of the again, I won't generalize, but I've seen in some of the even the first class matches. I think the warm up is being done properly, but I don't think the recovery is being sort of focused on. At least I've been to a couple of matches, and they've sort of matches over, and I see like somebody was just doing a little stretch here and there, and they sort of walk out. I'm like, aren't you doing it? And they were like.
Yeah, it's very important thing that we have missed out over a period of time. I think maybe lack of knowledge, or maybe how the games have been played, and how it has been placed. Also the timing of games, and that also must have caused that. So at a macro level, at a national level, I would say arranging games and having proper recovery periods in between matches is important. And to have rest days, proper rest days if you are traveling around. And but when it comes to recovery as an individual, you have to always think of a couple of things. One thing is importantly during a season, whether you are getting enough sleep. So sleep is very important. That's the best way the body recovers. So if you are on mobile phones, if you are on screens all the time, you might lose that. You are always, your mind is tensed. So to relax your mind, you have to get out of these screens and have a proper sleep. Even though you don't get a good night's sleep, you can have power naps in between the day.
Okay.
So these are very important things to do.
I mean, at least what I've heard is that it's number of hours is required, but I think sleep possibly from 9 p.m. to sort of 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. is something which is very important. Whether can that be sort of substituted with a sleep from say 3 a.m. to say of 10 a.m. Is that effective, or is it like?
No, what this says is that the body has a clock. It's
Correct.
called circadian rhythm. That how the body wakes up with the daylight, and it shutters off with the when the sun goes down. So we have to play accordingly. So that's why when we travel across time zones, that it's difficult for us to adjust.
Correct.
So it's good to have a good night's sleep, and as you correctly said, better 6 to 8 hours per day in the night. You get your very deep sleep in the early mornings into 3 to 4. So those are the times the body shuts and grows. So I mean, so better to have a good night's sleep. But if you can't have, maybe a short nap, power naps we call it, in between,
Yes.
is okay.
That's nicely driven towards the cover region. No run. So 103 for 14.2 overs. It's almost nearing run above the required rate. 32 runs required of 34 deliveries. I mean, correct. Those days, I remember, like, even at school, people used to play multiple sports. Now, but we don't hear that anymore, isn't it? Of course, that reminded me because only yesterday I was watching a rugby match, Trinity versus Dharmaraja, and there was a boy who was playing for Trinity, and I was stunned to hear that he's a soccer goalkeeper and a cricket wicket keeper and playing rugby as well. So, is that something? Is that something which is good to complement each other's sport, or is it? How does it work? I mean, why is that we are not seeing too many players who are playing multi-sports anymore?
It always boils down to the time that the athlete has. So, as I said previously, if you see the stats, it's the intensity of the matches, the games have increased now. If you take even rugby, you have a lot of matches being played. And the other sports also throughout. We don't have seasons. We have players playing throughout the year. So not like other countries, you have seasons and you have an off season. You can recover, regenerate, and come back. So that's one issue we have. So we have games playing all over the year, even at the young level. So these players are always on competition. So that is one reason why we are having, why they can't do multiple sports. And because the intensity is high, I said one sport, if you are playing for your team, school team, you are playing for 5 days per week.
Correct.
And then you don't have time to do other sport. There are a couple of guys who does that because they are anyway talented. So they are talented athletes, so they can do anything.
But the prep, I mean, how does the body takes it in? Like, the prep required for a game of rugby and possibly cricket are two different conditioning, right? Or is that? I mean, does it complement each other, or is it like it's quite? It's actually not good for you to do that.
Some sports complement each other. Being athletic, being able to have agility, cross across, and have speed. Those things complement each other. But it all depends on, say, athletics. And a raga winger, so he can run fast. So those things will complement. Things like cricket, sometimes badminton would complement with the timing and the accuracy, things like that. At early stages, what we say is have basic sports going on for your kid. So expose the kid to many sports as possible. Then he will identify his talent. So then you can go on that. But basic sports like swimming, running, and the gymnastics will get your basic fitness levels going on.
But I think cricket, rugby, and soccer all put together, that seems to be too much. I would say cricket, rugby, and football would go together because kicking is involved. There are a lot of kickers who have turned into rugby players and soccer players. A lot of speed is involved in short bursts of speed is involved in rugby and soccer and cutting across. So that would complement. But when it comes to cricket, is a skill game. But now it has a nice shot. That's a very good shot indeed. On top, through the extra cover for 4 runs. I think possibly the first boundary conceded by Sudesh Jayasinghe. He's been bowling very well. 3 overs for 7 runs so far, and he's given a boundary. That's a good shot, a timely boundary. Possibly would relieve a little bit of pressure. A lot of dot balls have been bowled over the last few overs, but I think that was on the slot. That was in the slot. Just pushed it over the extra cover field of 4 runs. Sudesh Jayasinghe has been bowling very well. Let's see what he's going to do. How he's going to come back. Oh, that's a good shot again. Oh no, sorry, that was a miss hit. That was a lot of work for the wicket keeper. 2 runs, nevertheless. So I think Galle Titans trying to make a move on. 116 for the loss of 3 wickets. With now the required rate it's like 28 balls and 23 runs. So those couple of balls, like the boundary and the 2 runs, would really help the Galle Titans. There we go, Sudesh Abhis. That's a good shot again. Is that a catch? Is that going to be a catch? No, not really. That's a lovely hit. There was a long off fielder stationed right up there, but it just went over his head. That was a good hit by Dilan Paranamana. He's decided to close this off early. He wants an early lunch possibly. 122 for the loss of 3 wickets. And this is an expensive over by the left arm spinner. He's been bowling very well. 3 over 7 runs, but so far he's given away 12 runs in the 3 bowls.
It's good to see Dylan just stepping out and connecting the ball.
It's a good shot again.
Yes.
Pushed towards past the bowler, and that's a single. So 13 runs. A 4, 2, a 6 and a single. Now it's up to Vimukti Senanayake to close this over pretty well. All of a sudden the required rate has dropped down to 3.69. 16 runs required of 26 deliveries. This game is coming to an end in a jiffy. That's a slight drag down. I think the effect of the previous deliveries, where it went for a 6 and a boundary, which was fuller in length. So Sudesh had to drag it down, managed to concede only a single. So it's again expensive over. 14 runs so far. Let's see how he's going to close this over. Dylan, I'm sure he's going to go after it. He just wants to close this game off. There we go, down the track towards the mid-wicket region. Didn't get the required connection. And also the placement. I think he was looking at going between the long on and the mid-wicket region, but he just managed to. It just turned on his hand and managed to sort of find only the mid-wicket fielder. 125 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of over number 16. 4 more overs to go. 7 wickets in hand. 14 runs. I think it's going to be easy for the Galle Titans.
Yeah, all of a sudden it becomes so easy after those 2 shots, the boundary and the 6, the last over. So it's all about now keeping the pace going for the Titans.
Correct. So looking at this match, looking forward to the next game. I mean, how do the teams pan out? I mean,
exactly. The Kandy and the Colombo teams. It seems that the whole tournament turned out to be quite a competitive tournament, and those two have been leading in the table. And over the time we have seen these districts that a lot of players have been fighting to get into the team. So there's been competition. Oh wow, that's a no ball as well. I think that's 4 runs. That's a poor delivery. That's 4 runs. Is that going to be no ball? Yes, it is. That's a no ball, and that's going to be a free hit as well. Yeah, it's a deal scoop to a no ball, right? Yeah, it's a no ball. 4 runs. There's no free hit? I'm not
has a free hit, right? There should be a free hit, but yes. Yeah, there you are. There we go. That's a free hit. That was a poor delivery in it. I think it possibly slipped off his hands, maybe. He tried what? A cutter? Nope. No, it was a conventional delivery he tried. That's a free hit. That's, again, pumped over the short extra cover fielder, a short mid-off fielder for a single. That's 131 for the loss of 3 wickets. 8 runs to go in 23 deliveries. Shehan Niluka. Will he be able to get a couple of wickets, and make it a little bit more interesting?
So it's kind of tough for Shehan to get back in this over, which you had an expensive over last, and then coming back. So let's see how he does it.
Nice shot indeed. A classical stroke. You know, the left elbow pointing up, quite nice and straight towards the cover region. Good to see such kind of strokes being played. I mean, the classical way of playing cricket.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's a nice hit again over the bowler's head. That's going to be boundary. Good chase by the fielder. That's Yasas. That's again a single. The score moves on to 130. Sorry, that's a double. That's 2 runs actually. The score moves on to 133. 6 more runs to go. Will they close it off with a 6? Nope, that's wide outside the off stump.
Yes, we could see some textbook type cricket shots have been played, so that's nice to see from these doctors who are not full-time athletes and trying to showcase their talent. Nice to see that.
Yeah, possibly I think they've not been contaminated with this franchise cricket, so that's why I think they're probably playing some textbook cricket. They're probably, again, I would say, they're probably from the old school, right? I mean,
Maybe.
that's how they've learned it, so yeah.
Maybe yes. Still, because they have not got into an intense cricket like what we have here.
Exactly.
So they are focusing more on their...
Yeah. It's always lovely to see a pleasing cover drive rather than a hoik to mid wicket. I mean, that's though maybe the hoik might give better results in terms of number of runs, but in terms of watching pleasure, it's always the classical play, classical drives, cuts and pulls even.
Exactly, I agree with you. So it's only 4 runs needed from 19 balls all of a sudden. It's how you see the next over will be planned. I mean, this over, actually, I think sometimes our players must be lacking on coming back on pressure and how to deal with it. Maybe they will get there with time. They are not professional cricketers.
Correct. I think, I mean, if you really ask me, I think they should not panic. Just work the single. There we go. Actually, I've gone for a 2 there. There we go. Yep, they got the second. 137. I think that the Dambulla team has already given up. So I think it's a matter of don't give a sniff to the opponents. Just work out the 2s. Get 2 singles and finish it off. There's no point whether you hit a 6 and win or whether you get 2 singles and win. It's a win. That's it. That's all what matters over here. I mean, in this context. I think, are we going to see the spinner again in action? Nope. Who's going to bowl now? 2 runs required to decide the third place of this Doctors Cricket League tournament, the second annual Doctors Cricket League tournament. I presume this is going to be an annual encounter.
Yes, at the Sri Lanka Medical Association Council level, they have decided that they're going to hold this yearly now, and we'll see more players coming in and getting involved. And just a bit about the Sports and Exercise Forum of Sri Lanka Medical Association. The Sri Lanka Medical Association has...
There you go, that's Nuwan Chaturanga. That's swung on the leg side. That's 4 runs. That's the end of it. That's the end of the game. Vimukthi Senanayaka getting the winning run. 141 for the loss of 3 wickets. Galle Titans emerging winners by 7 wickets against Dambulla. A good game of cricket. So they've seen the 3rd place for their team, and that's a good shot indeed. Again, I think Dambulla possibly didn't play that well in comparison to the Galle Titans, where in fact even they missed out a few tricks. I think you could see even Nuwan Chaturanga had a couple of overs more left, and he was quite decent. He had figures as well. They should have possibly brought in the spinners a little bit more earlier, but again, give it to Galle Titans. Even after that first power play of 6 overs 56 for 2, where Dambulla was batting very well, they really pulled it back. Their 2 spinners, the Shayan Sanjeeva and the other medium pacey, they really pulled it back, and they restricted the Dambulla team to 130. In fact, when I asked the captain of the toss, he said he'll be happy if we can restrict to 140, and they almost did that. I mean, they actually restricted them for 138, whereas Dambulla was looking for 160, and they've done the job very easily indeed. So congratulations, Galle Titans.
Yes, congratulations, Galle Titans, for their 3rd place, and well played, Dambulla Royals. Maybe next year they'll come back.
I think one other question which I have is that you have only 5 districts or 5 teams being represented over here. Any plans to increase the teams or?
Yes, for the time being, we are just focusing on having stronger 5 teams, and these teams are actually representing all over the country. I would say from east and north, there are players coming into Jaffna, and Colombo, the Western Province, the Colombo, and the Southern Province. Likewise, each province is being represented by these teams. So with time, with the competition increase, with the number increase, we might increase. For the time being, we are just trying to stay on these 5 teams.
All right, that's good indeed. I mean, just to give a summary, Dambulla Royals 138 for 7, Galle Titans 141 for 3. For Galle Titans, Shayan Sanjeeva scored 28, Chennai Hathagoda 737. A very good opening stand they had. They had an opening stand of 46. And then again, another partnership of 47 between Binara Vihanga and Chennai Hathagoda. And then, of course, the game got finished off by Vimukti Senanayak and Dilan Parnaman. I think the trick is that Galle Titans were able to stitch a fair amount of partnerships. They had 3 good partnerships in comparison to what Dambulla Royals had. Dambulla Royals possibly had only one sizable partnership, and then, of course, there are a few smaller ones. So in terms of in bowling, for Dambulla Royals, it was... Darinda Pereira, I thought he looked good, though he went for runs. 3 overs, not for 33. Samudra Wickramasinghe had a very expensive over, shifted the momentum of the game, gave away 4 boundaries in that over, including 3 consecutive ones in the last 3 deliveries. Not for 16 in 1 over. Yasantha Harsha, pick up the bowlers for Dambulla, I would say. 4 overs, 1 for 26. Shayan Niluka, the captain, 3 overs, not for 28. Sudesh Jayasinghe, I thought he bowled very well. The first 3 overs, he gave away only 7 runs. Of course, in the last over, he went for 15. But that's when the game was already lost. 4 overs, not for 22. And Nuwan Chaturanga, 2.1 overs, 1 for 13. I think slightly unfortunate. He should have gotten a couple of overs earlier. I think Dambulla missed the trick by not bringing the spinners earlier. And also, I think on the field, they had a couple of drop chances. In fact, both the openers were dropped in the same over, if I remember right. Same or consecutive overs. And those were fairly catchable ones, to be honest. And of course, a couple of mishits sort of fell in no man's land. But again, Galle Titans held on to their nerves, batted very well, and it's a comprehensive win by 7 wickets for Galle Titans. And in a while, we'll be watching the finals. We'll be coming back for the finals between Colombo and Kandy. And I'm told that that's a repeat of last year. Last year, Kandy won. Kandy beat Colombo, and I think even this year in the league phase, Kandy beat Colombo. So it's going to be an interesting final. Colombo will be out there to take revenge.
Yes, Kandy has been always a tough side. They've been having some good players all the time. So let's see how Colombo will take up Kandy.
Yep, so it's everything to play for in the finals. Kandy wants to keep their winning momentum against Colombo. And it's Colombo. They would want to break that momentum and then prove everyone wrong. We'll see you at the start of the finals. Thank you.